good. Good afternoon and welcome back to the Coolidge Cricket Ground. It's the second game of the West Indies A T20 International Series. West Indies A versus Pakistan A. The West Indies big team, as we would say, the senior team, they've won the toss and decided, based on the conditions, that they will bat first. I'm joined by Marley Richards. Marley, teams, West Indies first.
Yeah, good afternoon, Vernon. Windies women team, we've got Stefani Taylor, captain, Anisa Mohammed, Aliyah Aline, Shamilia Connell, Deandra Dottin, Chanel Henry, Kaisia Knight, Kishona Knight, Hayley Matthews, Shadeen Nation, and Shakira Selman. The 12, 13, and 14 are Karishma Ramharak, Zaida James, and Brittany Cooper.
What about the Pakistan team? You got that too?
Yeah, I do. We've got Javera Khan, skipper Javera Rauf, Ira Mohammed, Nida Dar, Aliyah Riaz, Aisha Nasim, Sidra Nawaz, who's the wicketkeeper, Fatima Sana Khan, Diana Beg, Nashra Sandhu, Anam Amin, and 12 is Sidra Amin, and 13 Sadia Iqbal.
Let's talk about the first game, and we're talking about the West Indies senior team and the Pakistan senior team, because we got two different competitions. We have an A competition, which is more or less like a development, and we just saw Pakistan winning by 14 runs in the second game, and they would have also won the first game at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. But the second game would have seen West Indies producing, as we would say, 136 in their innings after opening stand of 65 between Hayley Matthews, Deandra Dottin, 32 and 21, and Nida Dar becoming the first Pakistan bowler to 100 T20 wickets. But we're concerned a little bit about the West Indies batting. Good start, and then they fell away.
Yeah, pretty similar to what we saw in the 18 game as well. The two most experienced, or two of the most experienced players at the top of the innings in Matthews and Dottin. We know their capabilities. They're well sought after female cricketers in the world of cricket in terms of the domestic leagues around the world. And to have them at the top of the innings is a bonus for the West Indies, but they have to really show their worth and put in the performances to set up that foundation for later on in the West Indies innings, where Stefani Taylor and the like and the Knight twins come and finish the job.
Well, if we looked also at the Pakistan batting, we saw that there was a 69-run partnership between Aisha Nasim and Fatima Sania in that game. Nasim coming up with 45 not out and Sania 24 not out. But the person who really upstaged the whole apple cart and turned everything around would have been Shamila Connell with 3 for 21, who broke the backbone of the Pakistan team in that contest. And in fact, would have done some real major damage by getting 3 of the Pakistan women batsmen bowled.
Yeah, early as well, you know, to really set Pakistan back. To take those 3 wickets and you know, really make inroads in the Pakistani lineup. The Windies were on top, in control for most of the game, but we tend to see how these games go. You know, there's always one partnership, and the end, Aisha Nazim, the way she played, you know, it just gave the Windies a little fright, and she would take some confidence from that performance into this game.
Different ground, different conditions.
Different conditions, yeah.
A bigger outfield at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium.
Yep.
Here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground, the wicket we would have seen in terms of, you know, how it played. It's going to be important to see how the West Indies acclimatize themselves here in match conditions, because this will be the first match for them playing on an international venue at the Coolidge Cricket Ground. So the practice is completely different to game time.
Yeah, well, I think you can learn a lot from what you saw in the previous game. We've seen both teams being here and watching what was happening, taking in the conditions, and we saw just how effective the spin was, especially in the middle overs, in terms of curbing the run rate and not allowing the batsmen to really get on top. And I think that's something that both teams will take into this game.
Is the West Indies strong with spin or fast bowling? We could look at the last game, Mali, and it's
been fast bowling, but you take into context even with the way Imtiaz bowled. She came on bowled her cutters, pretty similar to fast spin bowling, and the ball just stuck into the wicket a little bit, and it was quite difficult for the Windies batters to score. So I think you take, even though you're not a spin bowler per se, you take cues from what you've seen earlier, and you just apply it with your skills.
Now the West Indies senior team, the umpires getting ready to go out, so we have, as we would say, Christopher Taylor and Christopher Wright are the umpires going out today, so we see that. Verdin Smith is the fourth official. Ryan King is the man of the match. So we've seen some exciting times here as the umpires walk out here at the Coolidge Ground. Overcast conditions, wind blowing. And also a lot of cricket taking place as we speak, Mali. We have in St. Martin the Cricket for Life Casey Carty T20 tournament. I think it's $5,000 up for the winner. So there's been some exciting cricket action taking place there in St. Martin. They started yesterday.
Casey Carty tournament.
Yes,
I didn't know about that.
Casey Carty, Leeward Islands Hurricane franchise player.
Yeah.
So they've got a tournament. They've got some big major sponsors participating in that tournament. Carib, Gatorade. So a lot of folks have come on board in St. Martin. We got people like Kofi James who's down there playing.
Okay.
We also have Justin Athenaeus. Got a number of players from around the Leewards who were flown in for that game to be able to make the action taking place. And as we speak, we see Javera Khan, the captain of the Pakistan team, leading her team out onto the field in terms of what's going to be happening. The West Indies unchanged. Marlies, Stephanie Taylor, DeAndre Dartin and company, who will be coming out now. Will be most likely be Haley Matthews and DeAndre Dartin.
Most likely.
And so they would want to be able to make sure that they get better at what they're doing in terms of the game. So we'll see in terms of the lineup and what's going to be happening and what's going to be taking place. Well, the stage is set. West Indies winning the toss and deciding that they're going to bat this time first. Mali says he agrees with the decision in terms of what could happen a little later on. You want to dictate, especially under these conditions. And I think the start is going to be very important, Mali, as we speak about what's going to be happening in this game.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I'm going to be taking particular interest in paying particular interest to Stephanie Taylor today in terms of what we saw in the first game, her energy and possibly her health. She just didn't look 100%, and it'll be interesting to see how she goes about it here today. But Matthews and Dottin have started well, and they'll be looking to push on in terms of what they did a few days ago here today. But it's a new day, new conditions. We've seen the wicket not necessarily be as conducive in terms of coming onto the bat, and they'll probably have to take some time here to get acclimatized.
And Amin is starting. That's what it looks like. I think I saw the number 46 on her back. No,
it may be Diana Baig.
You think it's Baig?
Yeah,
okay.
Looks like Baig.
Okay, so yes. So Baig looks like she's going to be start. Amin is right in front of us here at the third man boundary area. So it's going to be pretty interesting. So Baig, who really looks like a fast bowler, that sort of bill. And in fact, the Pakistanis, they have that sort of structure in terms of how they go about it. Again, Mali, you're concerned, no slip. Javera Khan starting with no slip.
She's going to be looking to use the breeze, especially going from east to west across this CCG field here, and be looking to attack the stumps and of Haley Matthews, I think. Knowing what kind of bowler she is, she tends to just seam the ball in a little bit, and based on the field, it looks like that's the plan.
So they're going to be bowling, Mali, more or less to, which we saw there, a 5-4 field, which is a little bit more balanced as compared to what we saw happen with the West Indies A team when they started first. They were bowling more or less to a 6-3 field. Javera Khan this time is giving in some protection. Baig comes in to bowl to Matthews. In now to bowl to Matthews. Matthews gets one which is keeping a little bit low, and she's going to have to get onto her front foot very early. This is not the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium track, so she's going to have to get that stride out pretty early, Mali.
And we saw this when Tariq was bowling as well, especially from the same end. The ball just not bouncing as high as the batsman would like. And like you say, you got to be looking to get forward. And if it does just bounce a little bit on you, then you'll be in good position anyway.
In fact, maybe I'd like to see Haley Matthews maybe even batting off of her crease. This time she gets right out.
Big stride.
And Dottin was a little late in getting off there, Mali, but in the end, all but safe, and she got in quite easily.
Yeah, good adjustment there from Haley Matthews. Big stride into that defensive shot and just knocked it into the offside gap for one run, and the West Indies are away.
Want to say good afternoon to all the folks in Antigua and Barbuda, in Barbados, in Grenada, in St. Lucia, in Dominica, in Guyana, Jamaica, wherever you're listening to us around the world. We want to thank you very much for choosing and supporting West Indies and Pakistan cricket, and in fact women's cricket. Deandra Dottin will face her first ball from Diana Baig. Baig is in now to Dottin. Dottin is back and cracking that. Sort of misfield there from number 16, Javid, and gives the West Indies their first boundary. And she maybe might have to pay like a fine.
Yep.
Dottin is off and running with her first delivery, 5 without loss, 4 to Dottin, 1 to Matthews.
Well-timed stroke there from Dottin. I just waited on that one and just almost just slapped it past that extra cover, but it hit the cut strip there. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pitches over, and just skidded through the fielder there for 4 runs.
5 without loss. This is going to be a good contest as Baig starts from the Citizen By Investment Unit N in Antigua and Barbuda, goes past the umpire, is in now to bow to Dottin. Dottin gets one which almost kind of popped on her, but she turned it into the offside in front of Christopher Taylor from Jamaica. The throw not good enough there. It went over the keeper's head, and she is not a tall. She's not a Junior Murray. So it went over, so she had to be scurrying over. 6 without loss.
And that's exactly what I was saying there. If it does happen to then bounce on you, you're still in a very good position because you're looking to come forward to that delivery. And she dealt with that pretty well.
Certainly. Here goes Baig, Diana Baig, as she comes in now to bowl to Matthews. Matthews come forward. A little hesitation there. And the communication line was just not right there. It came off the bat pretty quickly, went down to backward point. And I think Dottin wasn't sure that she could be able to make that one. They're now having a conversation in mid-pitch.
It's been a recurring theme thus far in this series, the early parts of this series, is miscommunication between the batters on both teams, you know, on both the senior teams and the A teams. It's something that both teams will have to work on.
Happens with cricket, especially in the women's game. High percentage of run-out. Matthew gets one, which is dipping onto her.
Kept low again.
Is also kept low. And umpire Christopher Wright signals over. So at the end of over number 1, the West Indies quiet start, 6 without loss. Dottin is 5, Matthews is 1.
And that's what Baig would be looking to do. Should have been disappointed with that boundary delivery in terms of the fielder not fielding it, but she did present with outside the off stump, and we see both teams, you know, look to really cash in when presented with width.
You think they're going to go for a spin today? Very early, Mali?
Yeah, it looks that way.
Okay, so who we have coming here now as we speak? Is it going to be Javera Khan? It looks like the captain is going to start. But we wait and see. We're just going to see. Or is it going to be Dar? We don't know.
It looks like neither Dar.
Looks like neither Dar.
I may be wrong.
There's a discussion taking place. Christopher Smith?
No.
No. They've gone for
Amin. It's going to be Amin. Left arm spin again.
Left arm spin again.
Yet another one.
So we know in terms of what's going to be happening. So Dottin is 5. Let's see what her approach is going to be. Dottin. I just think that Dottin is most dangerous when she's hitting the ball down the ground. She doesn't need to go.
Especially early in her innings.
Yeah, she doesn't need to go into the mid-wicket area at all. She just needs to relax herself and look to hit the ball anywhere down the ground, down the V, especially early, as Mali indicated. So she's lining up herself for that. She's looking around the field just to see what's happening. No slip at all. A short third man backward going cover. Amin comes in down the onside. And in fact, Amin really, as a leg spinner, Mali, she bows more or less a little round arm.
Very much so. The arm's very low.
Very low, so it's going to be very, very difficult. So it's not a bowler who is just above your eye line. So almost from coming around there. And Dottin is looking to get back, and she's going to have to be careful. In fact, I would like to see Dottin getting more, rather than backing away, get closer into the ball. She's rehearsing that now and saying, well, I heard you, Mali Richards.
It's got quite a low trajectory, her deliveries, so it's quite difficult to get under.
I mean, in out about to Dottin. Dottin is on driving down the ground and picking up a very easy single. Riaz comes off the long on boundary. One bounce throw into Amin, and the score goes up to 8 without loss. Dottin is 6. Matthews, who's now going to face her first delivery from Amin, comes in to strike. She's 1.
Yeah, and there's no one particular set way to go about playing a T20 innings, but it's in your best interest to give yourself that little bit of time to get acclimatized to what's going on before you really take the risks that you need to take in order to post competitive totals.
One of these two have to bat 20 overs.
For sure.
Matthews is undriving down to the fielder in Reyes. And Reyes just lobs a return right in. I think maybe for the Pakistan team, what maybe could happen is that the captain Javier Khan could give herself a little bit more room in the 25-yard circle and cut that single out and force Dutton and Matthews to be able to look out of the corner of their left eye there.
But she's almost catching in that position.
Yeah, and I think they're two power players, so I don't think that's going to work. Every time they play the ball in that area, they're easily going to get a single there. But she maybe have other intentions, and she would have other ideas in terms of what's happening.
Yeah, it's not a bad ploy from my vantage point here. The batsman in a catch-22 because the fielder is also back at long on. 9
without loss. Here is Dutton. We have to be very careful, especially if Amin can bowl that arm ball.
Going back to Amin could be quite dangerous, especially with the new ball that possibly could skid on.
She's got to be a little bit more tighter. Glad to see Dutton getting that right foot a little bit more parallel to the crease so that she could be able to play the ball a lot more later and square. Here comes Amin. As Amin comes in now to bowl to Dutton. Dutton is looking to go for a sweep. In fact, it's considered a wide. As we look at it there, as Nawaz didn't get across quick enough. It's gone all the way down behind the keeper, and they're coming back for 3 runs. And Matthews put in some pressure on Dutton, came back very quietly for 3.
Yeah, it's important that both Dutton and Matthews early here play with a straight bat. It gives them the best chance to be successful. If they start looking to play across the line a little too early, it could be curtains.
Scoreboard, main scoreboard gone down here. 13 without loss. But the manual is always up. That's always the lifesaver. Matthews is 2. And she's almost going to play along a little bit too early. Trying to get a little fancy there. She's got to understand that Amin is really not the regular spinner who is just above your eye line. He's just coming more or less from around arm action. So she's got to be as tight as possible. 13 without loss at the end of over number 2.
Just lost her base a little bit there. Hayley Matthews was almost looking to get a run before the ball actually came to her. She didn't wait for the ball to come right to her and just missed out there. But no great harm done. Windies still going at about 6.5 and over. Thank you very much. 6.5 and over to start with, 13 without loss.
So 2 overs have been bowled so far. Dutton is 6. And we'll wait for Big, who's going to turn and be charging in from the end down at what we consider to be the Citizen by Investment Unit end. She's going to move in nicely to come in now to bowl to Dutton. Dutton is going across the line of delivery right there. Wasn't really in control of it. I think she might have maybe got a little inside edge onto the bat right there. But her head was up in the air, really. Was looking for more or less a heave in terms of what's happening. 14 without loss. Into over number 3.
Just what we were talking about, not quite presenting a full face. Early in her innings, she's better off just looking to really just come forward and stroke that with present a full face and look to hit that up to a wide-ish mid-on area.
Dutton is 7, Matthews is 2. She comes into strike and waits for Diana Big with the big star in front of her. Working her arms, goes past the umpire, and that one keeping a little bit low again, playing a little inside edge. Hayley Matthews not tight enough. It's got a new ball in your hand. It's got to be tight. They can't be so loose, and they have to also understand that this is a different
trying to do as well.
It's all about game awareness, game understanding to understand what's happening. At the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium, where the bounce was a lot more sure, here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground, you would have seen a game between the West Indies A and Pakistan A, especially from that end. The bounces varies. It's a little bit too pace.
And these are good conditions for Diana Baig stop delivery, you know, with the breeze and the way the wicket's actually playing.
Baig is in now to bowl to Dutton. Dutton is
better.
Coming forward at a big stride, and again the Pakistan is almost looking to give away a hand there. Good back up there by Amin as the ball went over Nawaz's head. Captain Javier Khan very guilty of not completing the throw completely, but no damage done.
She didn't get a run there, Vern, but she'll be feeling more confident. Considering the stroke, a better timed stroke, she'll be feeling more confident now, having played that shot.
Big goes past Christopher White. In out the ball to a Dottin is again going down the onside. There's a appeal for a caught behind. But I think he would have come off of a tie pad. The Pakistanis went up. But just for a moment, they really thought that they had one. And the umpire said not out. And said not out pretty early. Dottin is 7. Just a little alarm. 15 without loss. Getting a little excitement. In fact, a little cat and mouse game coming up there between Da walked right up in Dottin's face and was clapping away, getting the energy, working up some steam there in terms of what's happening. 15 without loss.
The fluency as the breeze blows across the CCG here. The fluency, you can see both West Indian batsmen just struggling at this point in time. Field, she's a real general of her craft for this Pakistani team.
Here comes Matthews. As Matthews come, and you can see the bat face shaping and going more or less to the square leg area rather than straight. I want to see Matthews hit the ball down the ground, just hold her form a little bit more, and could be able to just get a single. She's supposed to be able to just knock that ball down to Alia. Nice flighted delivery. Again, she's got to wait. She started to come, Hayley Matthews, and realized that it wasn't there.
Yeah, Nida Da did her through the air there. She was coming down the wicket. It wasn't quite there, but she managed to readjust and just pat it back.
Pressure mounting here all the time. Here is Taylor. Taylor giving her, not Taylor, Matthews gives her hand away. That was a poor shot by Hayley Matthews. She wasn't to the pitch of the ball, Mali, and for some strange reason just played a big shot. And a wicket that the West Indies certainly did not need to lose. Just take your time. And the bat face open there, more or less. And one of the things that I was working on, Mali, is that this check drive, if you get to the pitch of the ball, go right through with it. And Taylor lost her shape, and in the end was caught there, as we'd say, roundabout into the point area.
Yeah. She was looking to hit that over a wide long on mid-wicket area.
No need for that. The West Indies again, just like in the first game, losing wickets just repetitionally. Lost Dottin and then Matthews. Same thing has happened here again. Mali, 36 for 2.
Yeah, Nida Da, crafty bowler. She doesn't have over 100 now, 101 T20 international wickets for no reason. I think the West Indies should have targeted her in terms of her being a threat to this batting lineup and played her accordingly, not take unnecessary risks, because now they're playing into the Pakistanis' hands. 36 for 2, 5.5 overs gone.
Kashana Knight steps out for the West Indies, 36 for 2. Da comes in now to bowl to Taylor. Taylor stands up and just spanks that into the mid-wicket area. He'll have the legs to go across the boundary now, will it? No, that's a big effort there by a big player on a big day. And she would have saved 2 runs there at least, Mali.
Yep.
That's a magnificent effort there. And a good combination between Nazim, and we'll find out who the player is right there. Looks like 37. Who we got there for 37, Mali? Yes, Riaz. So at the end of over number 6, Mali, 38 for 2. Jack Matthew will step into the hot seat.
Yep.
And more comments from you.
Yeah, and just like that, the West Indies have lost their opening pair, and not only their opening pair, but in terms of form, their 2 best players. And it's a real setback, but it's also an opportunity here for Stefani Taylor as captain to put her hand up, and Knight getting an opportunity with a lot of balls to face. She's got time now to really build an innings, Jack.
Certainly. Good afternoon to listeners. Good afternoon to you, Marty.
Good afternoon, sir. Pleasure to be on here with you, man.
It is indeed a pleasure on my side as well. So the score, the West Indies winning the toss and opting to bat in the second T20 International against Pakistan here at the Coolidge Cricket Grounds. They're 38 for 2. You see, we're about to see the start of over number 7 as the bowler is in now down the leg side. A flick at it, loud appeal, but umpire Christopher Wright at that end says not out. The ball down the leg side, and there was Knight having a flick at it outside the line of the leg stump. I think the appeal was trying to offset the umpire, but they did not succeed. And so the score remains on 38 for 2. Must have brushed the pad on its way through. Sana, medium pace from the far end, the northern end of the Coolidge Cricket Grounds. And she's about to move in. Straight approach, right arm over the wicket, into bowl to Knight. And Knight is getting a ball outside the line of the off stump. It keeps low and not taken cleanly by the wicket keeper. So we have seen a number of deliveries keeping low, with the ball operating from the northern end.
Yeah, from the northern end, and the Pakistanis have recognized that. And they've bowled their pacers from that end, and they've been quite effective in terms of restricting the West Indian batters here. And the spinners have come in, and Sana has actually picked up a wicket, and so has Nida Dar.
Yes, Sana having now 1 for 1. This is her second over. She's on her way now, and this ball is defensively played. He's shown a Knight coming onto the front foot and just pushing the ball gently up towards the mid-off position. No run for it, and it remains on 38 for 2. So the West Indies made a reasonable start. They were going at quite a clip, but then the wickets often restrict the scoring, and that's what has happened so far, with the wickets going down of Deandra Dottin. She was bowled by Sana. Ball kept low while on 17 of 12 deliveries. And then shortly after that, Hayley Matthews played an atrocious stroke and skied it to the extra cover position. Here's Sana. And this ball is driven aerially just past the left hand of the bowler and going very, very quickly up towards the mid-on position. Knight not quite getting over that drive and almost giving a caught and bowl chance to Sana.
Yeah, and just looking at this West Indian batting lineup in terms of their combination, Jack. We've got Matthews at 1, Dottin at 2, and Stefani Taylor, the 3 most experienced and best players coming back to back to back. I think if things don't go the West Indies way, it tends to cause the lower and middle order to really struggle. So I think it's something they'll have to look into going into the future.
Yeah, so you would separate 1 or 2 of them?
Possibly, I think so.
Sana in to bowl to Knight. And Knight is pulling at this ball through the backward square leg position. We'll go away for 4, and that's 4 runs. Finding the gap, hitting the ball away from the fielder down at that long leg area, and the one at mid-wicket, and it's sped away down towards the backward square leg position. Just going to the right, to the left of the umpire, and speeding away for 4 runs. So the score now on to 42 for 2, and we're in over number 7.
And Knight actually played quite well in the first T20. You know, she played some brilliant shots. For me, she played the shot of the day when she played a straight drive down the ground. And she just didn't really go on. But she's got an opportunity here to really make a big score.
Just going at a fraction over 6 over. Here is the last ball over number 7. And it's driven nicely down towards the long on area by Knight, coming onto the front foot and jerking the bottom hand and sending the ball quite crisply up towards the long on position, and she got a run for it. So she retains the strike after 7 overs. West Indies opting to bat, and they're 1 up in this 3-match T20 series against Pakistan. They're 43 for 2 with Taylor on 4 and Knight on 5.
Yeah, Kaisia Knight, she timed the ball quite nicely in the first T20. And we're seeing it here again in her short innings thus far. She's timing the ball quite sweetly. She looks like a sweet timer of the ball. But in terms of constructing an innings, I think that's where a lot of these Windies batters will have to develop their game, Jack.
Indeed, there's a lot of work to do in terms of women's cricket in the Caribbean. Someone was saying that the West Indies team, the cricketers, since winning the 2016 World Cup, they have fallen in terms of the standard.
Yep.
I think it's not so much that the team itself that won that World Cup, but because some of the players
have gone. Yeah, it's a different team.
Yes, we have had players
coming
to the
transition period.
Yeah, precisely. And so we're not as potent as we were back in 2016. So the action continues. Over number 8 starts. The ball is just turned away gently down towards the square leg position. They're contemplating a second, at least Knight was. But Stefani Taylor was very much rigid at that far end. She wasn't prepared to take the risk, as the fielder came in rather speedily from the square leg position, deepish. And so only a run to Knight. She's on to 6. Taylor, the captain, on 4. 44 for 2 in over number 8.
Yeah, important innings this for Stefani Taylor, like I was saying earlier. Now the Windies 44 for 2, under a little bit of pressure. The captain at the crease, she just needs to rotate the strike and look to really build an innings and keep some wickets in hand for later on, so they could possibly post a competitive total on what's proving to be quite a difficult wicket.
So Dar with 1 wicket already in, and the ball is turned into the onside. Taylor is looking for a run. It's not there. The fielder coming in from that backward square leg position short to do the fielding. Score is kept on 44 for 2, losing the wickets of DeAndre Dottin, bowled Sana for 17 of 12, and Healy Matthews caught off the bowling of Dar for 9. Wickets going at 34 at the start of the 5th over and 36 in the 6th. Here is Dar, and the ball is again turned away towards that fine leg position. They go for the quick single, and they managed to get it because Knight was backing up, and she was really on the go from the very moment the ball left the bat. She was off, and they managed to scamper a single. And singles are so critical even in the T20 game.
Yep.
So the West Indies players, they're mindful of that, and they're going to try and get the singles, especially at this time when the boundaries aren't coming. They've lost 2 quick wickets, and there's almost a lull in terms of the scoring rate. So they'll be looking to get as many singles as possible. Here is the left-hander going back. She hits it a little bit in the air, but it fell safely into the offside. Knight just going back and looking to punch that off the back foot. Perhaps undone by an extra bit of bounce there, not quite getting over it, and he went out towards cover. Score kept on 45 for 2. This is over number 8 in progress. 2 balls to come, and here is Sun, and the ball is just played quietly by Knight. No aggressive intent whatsoever. Just allowing the ball to come onto the face of the bat.
Yeah.
Just a gentle push out to extra cover.
Neither Dar is the trump card in this bowling attack for the Pakistanis, and the West Indies will be well served to make sure she doesn't pick up any wickets here.
Dar with the final ball of over number 8, and it's a good delivery. Forces the left-handed Knight onto the back foot, and she plays it quietly out towards the wideish mid-off position. So we've had 8 overs completed. The West Indies winning the toss and batting. They're 45 for 2. Taylor has 5, and Knight on 6.
I'm quite enjoying Nida Dar, watching Nida Dar bowl her off spin. She's quite a wily practitioner of her off spin craft here, Jack. She's varying her pace really well. She's got her field set, and she's bowling the balls in the right areas and asking the West Indies to make all the play, and proving to be quite a handful at this point in time.
Yes, and she's not afraid to give the ball flight either.
Yeah, a bit of air and use that breeze that's coming from east to west across the CCG.
Yes, and it's rather windy, and an indication that we have a storm in the area. In fact, it's more than a storm. It's a hurricane now, and we understand that it's very much over Barbados. Barbados has had a battering so far from Hurricane Elsa. Here the Coolidge Cricket Grounds. This ball is up to Taylor. Loud appeal, she's out. LBW. Taylor coming onto the front foot rather half-heartedly, not with a lot of confidence, and she wasn't quite forward, and the ball hit her on the front pad and adjudged leg before by Christopher Wright. So the West Indies just find themselves in trouble here. They've lost their captain, and as you were saying, Marley, the 3 top-line batsmen and the 3 most experienced batsmen in the West Indies side, they have all departed.
Yeah, and Taylor, we did mention it earlier, her footwork just doesn't seem to be as positive as we've seen in the past. She seems to be really down in confidence, and it's really affecting the way she goes about constructing her innings. And on that occasion, again, we did say that's what the Pakistani attack was looking to do, especially from that northern end. Look to bowl outside the off stump in a good area, just nip it back from outside the off stump and attack those stumps, and Taylor wasn't good enough to keep that one out from Sana, and she's doing a fantastic job here. 2 for 6 from 2.1.
The significance of bowling between wicket and wicket, and certainly that paid off for Sana. She has 2 for 6, and this is only her 3rd over. And really, there's not only capturing wickets, but having a very, very good economy rate as well. So in the windy conditions here, the Coolidge Cricket Grounds, Pakistan fighting back against the West Indies. They're looking to level the series and certainly produce a win. The Pakistani A team winning the T20 series against the West Indies A side, having taken a 2-0 lead with a victory early on today. 21 runs,
21 runs,
21 runs they won by. So we're watching Sana. She continues medium pace, and the ball is hit off the back foot and just going forward with the momentum by Shadeen Nation, and he goes into the offside, and there is no run. So certainly they will need to have a partnership of substance here from a West Indies perspective if they're going to try and stem the tide
Oh, for sure.
and slide.
For sure, arrest this momentum that this Pakistani team has here at this point in time. But Nation in the first game looked quite good. She timed the ball quite well. She was also quite a clean hitter of the ball, along with Kaisia Knight. So she's got an opportunity here.
She faces Sana, whose right arm over the wicket, and the ball is driven at. Not quite getting the ball into the intended position. She was looking to the one straighter, but the inner part of the bat and just trickled away towards the forward square leg position, not being able to get a run for it. The batters, they need to show a level of consistency, though, and coupled with patience, I think, because we saw Hayley Matthews suffering from the lack of patience. Because at that point she should not have been dismissed, and especially the way she was.
Yeah, and with her ability, to clear these boundaries and the power that she possesses, she can afford to construct her innings in a more sedate manner. Even if she gets a little behind, she's got the power to even catch up later on.
Sana, nice smooth approach, runs in, right arm over the wicket, and this ball keeps low side the line of the off stump. Had it been in line with the stumps, I don't think Shadi Nation would have had a chance. Because that one certainly kept low. It almost crept outside the line of the off stump and eventually went into the gloves of the wicket keeper. 45 for 3 with Knight on 6. Nation yet to score over number 9 in progress.
It's getting lower and lower here, Jack. But what we've seen is the Pakistani backroom staff and the captain, they've been really astute in their tactics. They've bowled the quicker bowlers from that end, looking to utilize that lack of bounce.
Yes, and it has brought dividends.
Yeah, it's worked.
So far, Sana looking for more success. Strides in to bowl to Nation, and Nation gets a ball of Yorker length, digs it out, and it goes up towards the mid-off position. The field at extra cover comes around to pick the ball up, and there is no run. So the wind continues to be rather boisterous here, the Coolidge Cricket Grounds.
Yeah.
And the players would relish the fact that we're without the sunshine, I suppose, because when the sun is blazing down and you're out there, you don't really want that.
No.
So we have
it's actually quite cool.
Yeah, so if we have sunshine, it's murky, murky sunshine at the moment. Sana strides in from the far end, goes past umpire Christopher Wright, and this ball, another Yorker length delivery, and Shadi Nation having to come down on it and playing it into the offside. The over comes to an end. A good over and a successful one as well by Sana. She has picked up 2 for 6 in 3. Commendable figures by the Pakistani as the West Indies continue to struggle here for runs and also struggle to keep their wickets. They're 45 for 3 after 9. Knight on 6, a Nation yet to score.
Yeah, 2 for 6, and those 2 being 2 massive wickets of Stephanie Taylor and Deandra Dutton. Both similarly, both going a similar way, one LBW, one bowl, but the key was the delivery being between wicket and wicket, and the West Indian batsmen not being good enough to keep them out.
Indeed. So we're going to have more spin from the commentary box or southern end of the Coolidge Cricket Grounds. Interesting
here.
Yes, Dar
is
in, and this is driven. Almost a cross-batted shot there by Knight, looking to play in the corner area. Just sort of a plane across that one. It was pitched up to her, and she dragged it down to the straightish mid-wicket position. No run for it, went straight to the field. She's back to delivery, which is just short of a length, and she plays it nicely down to the long-on position, going back and just stroking it, not playing across the line of that one as she did the first. She got a run for it. So Knight is on 7 from 12. Nation, she has had 5 balls yet to score, comes in to strike.
And this more than likely will be the last over of her spell here, Da. I don't think she'll bowl out. I think the skipper will keep one up her sleeve for later on in the innings. So Windies would be pretty stupid to take unnecessary risks.
The off spin is in, and this is driven by Nation down towards the backward point position. They've crossed for 2. Will they come for 3rd? They will not. Nation was keen to come back, but Knight said no as the ball went down towards the backward point position. Coming forward to that delivery from the off spin and driving. Not getting the timing perhaps she wanted into it, but the placement was there. She beat the left hand of a diving backward point. So she got a couple of it for that. So Nation is off the mark. She's on 2. And the West Indies score inching up towards the 50 mark. They're 48 for 3. halfway through the 10th over. Here is the off-spinner Da. This is flighted, and she's coming forward, Nation, and driving with a certain degree of respect as well, a certain degree of caution. Not quite looking to go through the line of that one. Just allowing the ball to come onto the bat and carefully stroking it on the onside of the pitch for the bowler following through to do the fielding. So it remains on 48 for 3. 2 balls left in over number 10. As Da begins to go in, just a few paces, bowling off spin over the wicket, and this is driven, stroked nicely down towards the extra cover position.
And you can tell Nida Da used to watch a lot of Saeed Ajmal. The way she bowls, it's almost uncanny with her action and the way she stops a little bit and just keeps that batsman off balance.
Yes, she's in, and ball is beating the wicket keeper. Shadi Nation goes back and tries to flick it away. It's going behind the wicket keeper. 2 fielders are giving spirited chase and not being able to flick it back. And it has gone away for 4 wides. The signal coming from umpire Christopher Taylor. So 4 wides, the West Indies 50 coming up as a result of that. But it was a ball which beat the batsman, beat the wicket keeper. Perhaps I had a little bit more on it in terms of pace, and it went down to the boundary for 4 wides.
Yeah,
53 for 3.
Yeah, and what we're seeing here is the effect of wickets. Wickets can have taken wickets for the Pakistani team. They've brought that run rate all the way down now from nearly 9s to just over 4s.
Yes, it's actually 5.39 now.
5.3, sorry.
Yes, this ball is driven hard into the offside by Shadeen Nation, but she can't get a run for it. It goes straight to the fielder at extra cover. So we're at the halfway point of the West Indies innings. They're 53 for 3. Certainly a position they would not have relished, having won the toss and decided to bat. The West Indies, like Pakistan, on change for this second T20 international. But at the moment, they have, Marley Richards, a lot of work to do to get to a total that they would have looked for at the start of the innings.
Yeah, and it's a lot of inexperience now in the middle and lower orders, and we're asking a lot of these players to really play outside of themselves and to put in performances, but it's also a part of development. This is the highest level of the game for the women, and you expect players when picked and wearing that uniform to put in performances to help their team win. So I'm expecting these two, Knight and Nation, to really put up a fight here to try and make to get the West Indies to a competitive total.
Yes, indeed, Marley, and we're going to see. We have a consultation at the far end. We probably seeing a change at the far end. We'll see spin coming from the northern end of the Coolidge cricket grounds, with the West Indies 53 for 3 after 10. Knight on 7. She will be the one facing, and the West Indies having Sylvester Joseph comes into the position next to me, the former West Indies batsman. We'll have to really step up a gear or 2 here if they're going to get a score that would measure up to some level of respectability.
Yeah, good afternoon, Jack. Good afternoon to the viewing and audience wherever you are in this world. Indeed, Pakistan bowlers continue the good work that they've been doing from the first game. They maintain that.
So here is Dar with the first ball, and it's driven through the covers for 4. A ball of full length outside the line of the off, some tossed up invitingly. And there was Knight having a real go at it, driving it beautifully. And it sped away down to the boundary for 4. And she goes on to 11 with that boundary. And the West Indies pushing on to 57 for 3 at the start of over number 11. Good stroke.
Yeah, brilliant shot, finding the gap, especially, pushing on the score. She looked well from the last game as well.
Rauf is in, and this ball is turned away into the onside, and they'll get a run. Rauf bowling left arm spin, and on the legs of Knight, and Knight just turning the ball away for a single. So she's on to 12, and the score now on to 58 for 3 over number 11 in progress, as the right-handed Shadeen Nation comes in to strike. Nation on 12 from 14 deliveries. As we've been hearing, she was quite good in the opening T20 international, and we'll realize now that a lot of responsibilities on her shoulders, with the top 3 and the leading batters in the side, all back in the pavilion. She will need to take on the responsibility of perhaps batting through. Here's a ball which keeps low. She was going back to that one and was very fortunate to keep it out. That one kept low. Balls delivered from the northern end of the grounds, keeping low from a length. And so the batters would be very mindful of that and should be. Here's a ball driven into the offside, one of much fuller length. And there was Shadi Nation coming purposefully onto the front foot and driving. Not being able to get the ball into the gap though. It was played fluently into the offside. Fielded extra cover doing the stopping. Here is Rauf and steered away down to backward point, and it's well fielded. Falling away to her left on that occasion inside the 30-yard circle. So the West Indies now, they're really not being able to get the ball away. They're not getting the singles as they would like. The boundaries have certainly dried up primarily. Here is Rauf bowling between the umpire and the stumps, and she's driving but straight to the field at extra cover. It was hit hard, but the placement wasn't there. That was the final ball of over number 11, and the West Indies in the trouble at 58 for 3 with Knight on 12 and Nation on 2.
Yeah, definitely a spot about, I would say, the West Indies teams are they're not really rotating the strike. The boundaries are not coming. The Pakistani is using the conditions to the best of their advantage, Jack. You see, the pitch itself is not an easy one to batter, especially at this end. This end keeping a bit low. And the spin bowlers continue, the left-arm spinners, even in the 18 game, Jack. The left-arm spinners, finding that good, nice area line and length, and, also varying their pace. And you have to have a special skill to really maneuver these type of bowling. But, Jack, I heard Marley and yourself talking about the top 3 for West Indies team. What do you think about that? Since the T20 World Cup, I was wondering the same thing. And
12th over about to begin, and it's a bad start here by Sandhu, pitching outside the leg of the left-handed Knight and being called. So the extra carries the score out to 59 for 3. So we're watching. In fact, it's Da who's continuing, bowling her last over. So the ball is played into the onside, and the bowler following through picks the ball up. So the score remains on 59 for 3 as Da opting now to bowl around the wicket to the left-hander, and she goes in, and this is tossed up, and she's driving into the onside. Gets it away towards the wideish long-on position. They're contemplating the second. They come for the second run. They return to the bowler's end, and I think she may be in trouble. The umpire says not out. She went for the dive, and she just got in. Umpire Christopher Taylor was there in a very good position, and he judged that the batter got in time.
Yeah, it seems so. They really pushed and made up their mind that they're definitely going to take 2 for that one. It was an opportunity where the ball was away from the long outfield, and they saw it. After runs is so tight to get dropped. A situation like that, they really, step on the gas. And I thought that she got in pretty good in the end.
Nida Dow continuing. The off spinner bowling around the wicket, and Knight is taking on the pad as she goes back to delivery, and the ball just hitting the pad and falling away. The wicket keeper around to do the honors. So Dow in her last over, 1 for 16, halfway through her fourth, 61 for 3. Knight on 14, and Nation on 2. As the off spinner prepares to go into us. And here is the ball, which is outside the line of the off stump and taken by the wicket keeper.
Yeah, that continue as well to show that she's, really good bowling her consistent line and length, and she's a very attacking cricketer, attacking bowler, trying to get wickets consistently.
Yes, and so the action continues, and no run resulting there. The West Indies remain on 61 for 3, and certainly windy conditions. Maybe you hear the wind blowing in our microphones here. The Coolidge cricket grounds turned away into the onside and goes towards the mid-wicket position, and there is no run. So the over has come to an end. We have had now completed some 12 overs, so 8 overs to come. The West Indies winning the toss and batting the 61 for 3, Knight on 14 Nation on 2, and that discussion we can continue later on, Sylvester, because I'm going to make way for Vernon Springer after a few words from you.
Yeah, and coming to the end of her spell, 1 for 16. Her figures speaks for itself. Her aggressive nature. You can see that she's very experienced, very confident in her ability to to bowl those areas. She's a wicket taker, and you see she teases the batsman, especially. She knows that the West Indies team is in a bit spot of butter, and she kept on flighting and bowling that mystery, those mystery balls, trying to pick up some wickets.
Thank you very much, Sylvester. 46 dot balls in 12 overs so far by the West Indies, 61 for 3. And you will understand the sort of challenge that you've been having. First of all, let me just apologize to you. It's a pretty windy day here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground. So if you hear the wind coming through our microphone, just bear with us.
I think it's windy all over the Caribbean now, especially towards
what we've been hearing about
there.
Barbados.
Yeah.
So hearts and praise go for those folks there. Nation is 2. And finally, Nation gets a single. Sandu. And the pressure been mounting on here. What I want to see, Sylvester, is the West Indies team try and pick up some singles. Look for the gaps a little bit more. There's a lot of space. And the Pakistan captain, Javera Khan, she's really just got into a good groove. She knows that Nation and Knight likes to hit the ball. They're power hitters there. And so the fielders stay back on the 25-yard circle. I think this is something that the West Indies is going to have to be able to work on. Down the onside, wide delivery. And Sandu knows that she can afford to bowl that line.
I think the West Indies management team, they need to look at the combination of the batting with the 3 top players, the world-class players. Any team get 1, 2 of those wickets are pretty confident. And if you get all 3.
In fact, I know what's happening, Sylvester. The the microphone outside, it's where the wind is blowing, is what is really... it's powering away there into the feedback in terms of what's happening. 63 for 3, and Sandu is going to come in now to bowl tonight. Knight is looking for a single, finally get a well-run single. Nation taking a long time to back up, not backing up there at all. And I think they're running in the wickets, Sylvester. They've got to be able to get low. You know what I mean? So that's going to be very important. Nation under a little bit of a pressure. She needs some runs under her belt, and she certainly has been around for some time and need to be able to produce something special here for the West Indies. Can she come up with something? Some 32 matches, really, and by her standards, made a debut in 2008, and has only got 1 half century, Sylvester, a high score of 61. So she'd really want to be able to march on and get herself organized. She's back and looking to punch that. Can't score, can't pace the offside field. And her body language sometimes just tell you that she gets a little bit frustrated in not being able to score. But the most important thing is that she's at the crease, and so she's going to have to stay there and to be able to work on that. No need for her to try anything to be able to get out. Here is a driving straight down the ground. Split the long on and the long off, down to the boundary for 4. That's a good cricket shot.
Definitely it is.
Lovely cricket shot. She goes up to 7, and the score goes up to 68. 68 for 3. The completion of over number 13, Sylvester.
Yeah, brilliant shot, straight back past the bowler and elude both fielders on the long off and long on boundary. It was with good power, good placement, and she got good reward. I mean, seeing her over the years, I think she goes from strength to strength. The way that she's batting now, she looks more comfortable. She's hitting the ball crisply. Sometimes she failed to elude the fielders in terms of finding the gaps, but she looks to me like she's pretty much more confident. But I believe to strengthen this batting attack that you need to split up the top 3. You need, especially in a situation like this, if you had a Haley Matthews or the captain batting with one of these more say less experienced players, I think the other teams also will have more respect, and the maneuvering of the strike and so forth. They will have to help them to control the tempo of the game, Springs. If you understand what I'm talking.
Wide delivery there, bowled by Amin. In fact, Sylvester, I would like to see Haley Matthews batting 3 in this team. Batting and maybe someone else opening at the top of the order. And then you could split up. So you give Haley Matthews a little bit more opportunity so she could maybe sort of look at the game. 69 for 3. Amin into bowl to Knight. Knight would be advised to just look and just play that ball onto the onside. She got in line right there. She just needs to get her left foot moving, get deep into the crease, and just work the ball, especially right in front of Christopher Wright's area on the leg side, and be able to pick a single to the left or his right. She's moving there. And there gives her hand away. That's what we were talking about, Sylvester. Pressure mounting. That shot certainly not on. Use the depth of the crease, get there and just work the ball around and wait off for maybe, let's say, the final 4 overs. And Knight again got frustrated and gave her hand away. A wicket that the West Indies certainly didn't need to lose at this time, Sylvester. 69 for 4.
Yeah, I mean, judging for what I see with the A team, and now I'm looking at the senior team consistently, the game awareness. I mean, in T20 cricket, you have to look at the balls. Yeah, I think the focus is on the overs are going down and so forth. But in T20 cricket, it's all about ball spins, and you have to be focused on the balls. You may miss 2-3 balls or so, but you have to focus on the balls and take the pressure off yourself. You don't need that type of shot. Every time I see that bowler Da was tossing it up to Knight, she swings across the line. Those are deliveries I think she can take maybe 1-2 steps down the wicket and hit the ball straight over extra cover, over mid-off, but every time you toss the ball in the air to her, she swings it over mid-wicket.
And
I'll try to swing it over mid-wicket.
Try to swing it over mid-wicket. And it's like a typical fashion, because when you look around, you have to respect this game, Sylvester. The fundamentals remain the fundamentals. That's why they tell you that the bat has got to come down nice and straight. And this is what is called for hours of practice. There's a little quote here from American author, Robert Collier. Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in, day out. That's what you got to work on. So you got to go in the nets, and you got to be able to keep working on that. Amin now into bow to Shadi Nation. She hits this on to the deep backward square leg fielder. No pressure at all. Nation will have to take a lot of the strike. Knight has just come in, so we've gone from one Knight to the next. Kashana is gone. Kesia is now coming. We're in the number 42. So let's see what her approach would be. Twin sisters from Barbados. Our prayers and thoughts go out for the folks in Barbados, in St. Vincent, and all around the rest of the area.
And you must give credit to the players from Barbados. I think that their mind also will be, thinking back on their families and their homes, back in Barbados. So kudos to them to see that they're still out here trying and fighting for the West Indies, and hopefully that they can put up a good showing, to bring some comfort to the people back home, who's going through this storm as well.
Into a third over. Knight is turning this one onto the leg side and had the throw in direct. Nation might have been in a little bit of spot of a bother. Knight just started to turn the ball and just took off with just a little pace. Still feel that they're hitting the ball just a little bit too close. I'd like to see Shadi Nation fix her left pad there. It looks a little off there. I'd like to see it a little tight every minute. She's tucking on it there. Don't know if maybe she's not feeling too well, so she doesn't want to tighten that top part of the strap. But we wait now. Amin, 1 for 19. She's into a third over. West Indies 71 for 4. We're into over number 14. Christopher Taylor is just making sure the breeze is really strong here. Tremendously strong here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground and maybe around the Caribbean. Here is Nation going around the line of delivery, trying to go hard at it rather than just a little paddle. Over number 14 completed. And the pressure continuing to mount here on the West Indies team. 71 for 4. Nation is 8. Knight is 1.
Yeah, we have 6 overs remaining here, Springs, at 36 deliveries. With 71, what target? I think now they have to reassess and see what target, will be a good challenge in total. Maybe at least we can look at the 120, 125 from this stage. And they have to focus on how many balls remaining. And it seems to me like, they look at the overs and then they go hard. And the harder you go, Springs, it's more difficult for you to get the ball away. So you waste more deliveries instead of you focus on each particular delivery. Maybe if you can't get a boundary, you get a single, you rotate the strike and so forth. But when you look at the overs and see that the overs are going down, you tend to go too hard after the leave. Too many 2020 cricket playing now, Springs, so you have to watch and assess and see how these guys maneuver, these ladies maneuver in 2020 cricket.
36 balls to go here, Sylvester. The West Indies are 71 for 4. And they'll have to play some smart cricket. We're talking about it since all day. Game awareness, game understanding.
Yep.
and understanding the context of the game. Yes, it looks exciting, and you want to clear the boundary, but at the same time, you want to be able to take that ratio of dot balls out of the percentage of the innings. Knight waits and just tucks this one. Again, she doesn't get a single, gets a dot ball right there. Now, rather than looking to punch that as much as she tried to, Sylvester, I would just rather prefer to maybe just come slightly forward and just look to pick a single up. So that feeling I would have been thinking now about trying to see if she can get in to be able to cut that off. So it's going to be pretty important. We wait for a while. 71 for 4. And Knight is going after a wide delivery. Christopher Wright signals a wide also. Missed it completely. Yeah, big extravagant drive right there. Want to get back onto ball. Score goes up to 72 for 4. 72 for 4. We wait for a while. Again, that's a little bit better. That's what we wanted to see, Sylvester. And finally, they got the single off. Riaz has come into the bowling attack here for Pakistan. Aliyah Riaz weighing the number 37, 73 for 4. So the Pakistan team, they're ringing the changes so far in terms of the bowling changes, and they have already assessed the West Indies batting lineup, and they want to restrict the West Indies at least to under 100.
Indeed, I mean, in one day, in T20 cricket, most of the overs from the start to finish, you have most of the fielders. Even though you're in the circle, you're starting on the circle.
Down the onside again, Reyes falling away there. Don't know if the wind is a little bit too strong for her, or her hair is taking a toll on her with this wind coming from east to west here. She gives away another wide. So in this over so far, she's bowled 2 wides, and I'm sure the coach would really not be too impressed with that. 74 for 4. Reyes comes in now to bowl to Nation. Nation is hoisting that over mid-wicket, 6 runs. It was in the slot. And, of course, the bottom hand came into play right there. That's what she wants to do all the time. And that's the second 6 of the inning so far for the West Indies team. 1 from Dottin and now from Nation. And that's a big shot.
That's a really good shot. I mean, rotating the strike and so forth, give you those opportunity sprints. I like how Knight came in and, she played with one soft hand and move on and rotate the strike. And the Nation now get one in a slot and she dispatched it over the boundary.
Reyes over so far has cost 9. And maybe could cost more based on what's going on. She missed out there. Sylvester, she was looking for extra XYZ power there. And Knight was also struggling to get to the non-strikers end there in terms of the running. 11 runs off the over so far. The score all of a sudden changes gear. As Sylvester kept saying all the time, you just have to spend some time at the crease and rotate the strike. 82 for 4. All of a sudden, they picked up 11 runs out of this over.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have those type of overs. This is 2020 cricket. You're always looking to score, but even if the ball is not there, you nudge it for a single.
Riaz, here is Nation losing her shape there, Sylvester, when she could have been able to just come and just caress that ball. Again, she looking for maximum over into the mid-wicket area. And
she already got about how many? How many get out of it? 9,
11
10
out of the over so far.
Yeah, you don't want to be that balls at this time, man. Get a single, move again. This is the game situation and game scenario that we're talking about. Again,
missing out there on 2 deliveries when she could have been stroking those through cover there. And the bat face ending up closed over there rather than just getting that left foot out to the pitch of the ball. Over number 15 completed. And I just thought that Nation lost her way there. Missed out on those half volleys. Got to be able to put those away. With her power, Sylvester, she could be able to hit those balls down the ground for 4.
Of course, and she plays very well to the offside. Those balls were just about, on or about half stump, and she's looking to high kick, I guess, over mid-wicket or long on instead of hitting the ball, straight down long off or even through extra cover. And as I said, man, they have to understand the situation. They are experienced players that have been around for a while. They have played enough 2020 games to understand the situation. When you get 8, 10 runs out of the over with 2 deliveries left, I mean, you can't afford to be wasting that balls in that manner. If you get 2 good balls, we can understand.
Here is Knight driving down the ground, picking up a very easy and positive single. Out to Riaz. Riaz lobbed the ball up. Don't think Riaz would be too impressed with her first over in terms of what she bowled before, but the score goes up to 83 for 4. That's behind her back. Keisha Knight is on 3. Shelly Nation comes into strike now. She's on 16. Game awareness. Use your smarts. That's what got to be able to take the strike, come around, look around, see what's happening. Again, looking for a massive drive there. It'd be better advised to just work the ball around, especially on the leg side, Sylvester, and get 2 runs. Make them work. Javier Khan, the feeler for that delivery right there. Sadu for 13. Here is Nature going for a massive, big power drive. It's raced away down to the short third man boundary, and the fielder there saves 2 runs. And no purpose run there to our coming back. Had maybe Knight come back hard enough there. They might be able to get 3 because the throw was weak.
Yeah, the throw was weak. But they have made up their mind early, to settle for the 2. But and Springs again, you have to look at your scoring areas. All of the players on the offside is up, and you're still going to the leg side where most of the leg side boundaries are covered. You have to understand where you want to score.
Sando hitting the ball down the ground, split the mid. That's a magnificent effort. That's beautiful piece of work there, Sylvester, by the number 14 in Khan, Fatima Sana Khan. Sana Khan coming around there and saved 2 runs easily, Sylvester.
Yeah, definitely. See, Fatima is on her shirt. This is
Sana Khan, yeah.
Yeah.
But Fatima, yes.
Yes, what I'm saying, the Pakistani feelers, feeling is really impressive. Really impressive.
Energy.
Yeah.
Here is Nation driving again massively. Going for a big drive. No need. Just come and stroke the ball. Nation is a good player, Sylvester. You just need to just stroke it. She's winding up to go for the maximum. No need to go for the maximum. You're 21. Just stroke it. 21 off 27.
She's batting like this is the last over.
Yeah, no need for that. You got a lot of time.
Yeah,
Same
man.
thing you're talking about reading the scoreboard.
You have a lot of balls left.
88 for 4. This could be a different game if you get up to 120. Back and looking to punch. Knight should have done a lot better with that. Pulling away rather than really getting in line and punching it up there. Over number 16 completed. The West Indies are 88 for 4.
Yeah, I just think they need a bit of thought process. It's difficult that, in this situation as the pressure and the game goes on, you tend to look at the wrong things. If you focus on balls, as I said, it helps you to minimize your thoughts and focus on one thing, and that will help you to really, to maximize your opportunity.
I'm going to get Jack Matthew an opportunity to end the spell. So, Jack, get ready for over number 17. I'll do one more. And you and Sylvester can continue your conversation. 88 for 4. Nation is 21. What sort of approach you think that you'll be able to take right now? Beg is going to be into her 3rd over. Let's see what her approach is going to be. She has to bat all 20 overs, Nation. Beg in now to bow to Nation. Nation is looking for an expansive drive. She just needs to stroke the ball. Just get that left foot out. And just hit the ball down the ground and pick up a couple of runs. Looking for a maximum there. This is a new bowler, and this is a bowler who's got a little bit more pace.
Indeed. I think she's limiting herself, Nation. She has more. She's a better quality player than what we are seeing in terms of she just trying to hit out. The runs will come if you play good cricket shots. You will get your reward.
Here is Nation again tugging this one across the line of the delivery right there. And for all that effort, Sylvester, she only gets 1 run.
Yeah.
So it'd be better to just come and just stroke it onto the side. And she's a good player because she's shown that if she get that stride out to the ball, she only has to look at Sohail in the West Indies A-Pakistan game and saw that when she came forward, how the ball just raced off the bat. So there's no energy in. Yes, I know you want to please your fans and everybody looking on the television and you want to go maximum XYZ. You're not Andrew Russell today. You're Shady Nation. So what you got to do is just look to stroke it around and don't get out at this period of time. 89 for 4. The current run rate 5.45. Keisha Knight from Barbados, twin sister to Kashana Knight. And she's just whipping this beautifully down to the boundary for 4. Offline there by Big. And because of the left and right combination, Knight was able to capitalize on that one.
But you look at the difference with Knight. Knight is not trying to overpower. She's playing cricket shots and she's hitting the gaps. This is what we need. Nation is playing like the overs are running out, but you're playing like this is the last 2-3 balls of the innings. I mean, Knight now, Casey Knight now, she's playing cricket shot, looking for the gap, looking for her areas that she knows she's strong and doing exactly that and getting reward.
Big now comes around the wicket, not for 23. By her standard, she'll be pretty expensive so far. She comes around the wicket now to bowl tonight. Is in now to bowl tonight, pitched up, and she's just undriving down the ground, looking for two. Let's see if she's going to come back for it. No, changes her mind. She really like a policeman in Bridgetown, Barbados, puts up her right hand and says no, and you heard that loud. Keisha Knight saying early o'clock to Shady Nation. Now let's see what sort of approach Nation will take here. She doesn't need to go across the line of the ball. What she just needs to do is stroke the ball on the offside, and if she beats the fielders inside the 25-yard circle, she's going to get a boundary every time. The partnership is 25 of 20 deliveries. Begging out the ball to Nation, and Nation again trying to swing across the line of the ball. She's bowling a fourth stump line, Sylvester.
And look, that ball passed a full outside the outside, and all of the offside fielders are in the ball, in the
25-yard circle.
She could have came forward and tried to play.
Or even just open the face of the bat and it will stay down to third man. She got a boundary.
Yeah, she's wasting a lot of deliveries, and fortunately, she needs to think some more.
Nation in strike here to Beg. She's 22 of 30. She gets a full toss and just whips it into a strong point. I think she'll get a couple of runs right here. Knight is struggling to get back here and had the throw been a little bit more on target. Knight was hustling back, but hustling back a little bit late. The score at the end of over number 70. More comments from you, Sylvester. 96 for 4. Nation is 24. Keisha Knight is 8. And more comments from you, and then Jack will wrap up the West Indies innings.
Yeah, I just think that they need to think about deliveries. You have 18 deliveries remaining. No doubt, I mean, a target of 120 is definitely going to be, on the cards. You can get more, but with 18 deliveries left there, no doubt that you're going to score 120. I think that you don't want to be missing out on deliveries when playing on uncalled for shots. Jack, like we seen for the past maybe 3-4 overs that there, especially Nation, she has missed out on a lot of deliveries.
Yes, because she's not applying the basics. She's playing across the line of the ball, and would be well advised to try and hit the ball outside the line of the off stump, because she has missed deliveries outside the line of the off stump, trying to hit it through the mid-wicket area, square leg area even. Here is the start of over number 18, and the ball is driven hard back towards the bowler by Keisha Knight, but can't beat Amin, and so score remains on 96 for 4. So the 100 beckons for the West Indies, but they will be looking to try and get as many as possible from the remaining overs to get a score that could really challenge Pakistan. They made 136 in the first match. Here is the ball driven by Keisha Knight, almost with a horizontal bat down towards the long on position. She gets a run for it, and she's on to 9. And the score now on to 97 for 4. Nation on 24 from 31. It could have been 40 from 31 had she applied the fundamentals. I thought.
Just the fundamentals, just the basic things. She should be scoring more than a ball. To be honest, she has the quality. That's why maybe people may think that we're hard on her, but I think that she has the quality.
Ball is swung away down to backward square for 4. 2 bounces into the rope at backward square. Good shot by Nation. She likes the onside. And so once that ball was pitched just on about leg stump or outside, her eyes lit up and she swept it away, swinging the ball away down to backward square for boundary. The 100 coming up for the West Indies in over number 17.3, in 17.3, 101 for 4.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's with the balls remaining, Jack, this definitely is going to be 120 something, 130 something. It depends on the decision that they make.
Left arm spin. This is hit high over the top. It's going down towards the long off position and it's caught. So hit high into the offside. From the moment it left the bat, it looked as if it had enough to clear the fielder, but the ball gave a rather regulation catch to the fielder at long off. So the West Indies losing the wicket of Nation. She has been caught of the bowling of Amin for 28, made from 33 deliveries. And the West Indies 101 for 5 in over number 18.
Yeah, Jack, that was inevitable. I mean, these left arm spinners, they're bowling well. I mean, they understand. She came on and she just floated that one just outside the off stump, because she realized from experience also that Nation is not, trying to hit the ball to the offside. She's trying to hit all the ball to the onside, and that one just peeled off. I don't know, you said that one was looked like it was going over, but to me, the feel of Langer, she ran in and took that catch, because I know that ball hit the outer half of the bat and she didn't put any time in on that. She was going in that direction where the ball should be going.
So she has perished of the bowling of Amin. Amin now 2 for 24 of 3.4. Left arm spinner bowling around the wicket. This is hit high. Over the top, it has gone for 6. Beautifully struck by Kaisia Knight. Hitting that one, a slug sweep. And the ball went sailing away over the wide, straight mid-wicket area for 6 runs. Beautiful execution.
Definitely. She and her sisters, that is the area that they, as soon as the ball, give a little ear over their eye lines, that's the area that they look at, But that one was a little bit quicker in the slot, and that's why she got away with that one. But it's a good shot, good reward for the West Indies score.
Kaisia Knight 15 from 11, 107 for 5. 1 ball left in over number 18. Here is Amin, and she's driving into the onside, goes away down towards the long on position, and they canter the run because the ball is travelling too quickly for them to attempt a second. We have had 18 overs completed. The West Indies 108 for 5, winning the toss and batting in the second match in the CG Insurance T20 series against Pakistan at a sunlit Coolidge Cricket Grounds early on. We had sort of a murky sunshine, but now we have the sun very much with us as the windy conditions continue. Very stiff breeze blowing across, stiff wind I should say, blowing across the ground. And we know that the situation concerning the windy conditions is because we have a hurricane in our general vicinity, Hurricane Elsa, and that has affected Barbados. We wish Barbados all the best and all the neighboring islands with respect to that. So 18 overs gone, 108 for 5, and Sana will complete her allotment. She will begin her 4th over from the far end. She has had 2 for 6, so she has been incisive and economical, picking up wickets and conceding very few runs so far, just 6 runs from 3 overs. So here's Sana bowling fast medium. This is driven aerially down towards the long on position. And here is a chance for a run out. She will be run out. No, she gets so well. They got 2, didn't they? They completed 2. They completed 2. It was a total mix-up. The newcomer Henry was keen to go back for the second run. There was Kaisia Knight just standing at the non-striker's end, and she was not aware that Henry was coming back for the second, and they almost found themselves at the same end. The ball came to the bowler's end. Unfortunately, Kaisia was able to get to the striker's end. She remains on strike, and here she's getting a delivery which is of Yorker length. She digs it out. Good ball from Sana, right in the block hole there, and Kaisia Knight having to come quickly and heavily down onto that one. She remains on 18 from 14. The West Indies 110 for 5. 2 balls gone in over number 19.
Yes, Sana using this area. This end down here is keeping a bit low, and Sana, she recognizes that and bowl consistently and reaping rewards.
She comes in, right arm over the wicket, and this is a full toss driven over the head of the bowler. It goes away down towards the position and down to the boundary for 4. Over the head of the bowler, the long on running around. The long off was also in pursuit, but neither being able to get. They bisected both fielders, and it ran away for 4. Good batting by Kaisia Knight. She's on to 22 from 15. And the West Indies 114 for 5, and they will need a lot more of that in these closing overs to get a score that they'll be comfortable with.
Yeah, these 2 sisters, they look like they're in pretty good touch. They batted in the last game as well, and you can see that they're hitting the ball pretty nicely and playing the ball accordingly, except for when the ball maybe flights a bit.
Sana strides in once more. This is hit in the air. Chance for the fielder at that straightish mid-wicket position. They'll come back for the second run. The return comes to the bowler's end, and she made it in time. Yes, she did.
Great effort there by Henry. Henry come out and put some impetus in the run in between the wicket. She's coming, and she's coming positively. I think Knight has to pay attention to her because she's definitely taking on the feelers, and she's doing a good job at it.
And she has some long legs, so they cover the areas quite quickly as well. Yes, she has certainly added some impetus to the running between the wickets. The West Indies 116 for 5, and significantly as well, she keeps Kaisia Knight, who is the better of the 2 batters, on strike. Yeah. So it's 116 for 5. Over number 19 in progress. This is hit down towards the long on position, and the fielder not being able to make the catch, and they sprint back for the second run. So the fielder coming off the boundary there, I thought for a moment she was waiting for the ball to come to her, and then she realized it was dropping.
Exactly.
And she had a lunge at the end and just could not get there. So a miss there by Pakistan. And the West Indies benefiting, 118 for 5, 1 ball left in the 19.
I think that delivery deceived the batsman, and it also deceived the fielder. That was a very good slow delivery, and she mistimed it, and also the fielder, mistimed, thought the ball was coming to her.
Kaisia Knight on 26 from 17 faces Sana, gets a slow delivery, waits on it, and just turns it around the corner. It goes away towards the square leg position. The fielder comes off the boundary, they sprint back for the second. And so this has been good running by the West Indies in the 9 stages of the innings. And really, Kaisia Knight pushed by Henry. Henry a little bit winded. She was bending over at that end there, at the far end. But really, she has come out, and she has come out with certainly a sense of purpose to try and keep Kaisia Knight on strike and try and get as many as possible. Turning ones into twos and prepare to take that extra risk. And so far, it has paid off for the West Indies. They're 120 for 5. There is just that solitary over to come. And if they were to get 16, it would simply mean that they would repeat their first game batting display when they made 136.
Yeah, and as I said, this goes to show now the score is a 120. I mean, 140, 145, 150 was on the cards. If Nation was really thinking about the situation and the balls that she had to face. Look at that now. I mean, I must give credit to Henry. She running back to back, four twos back to back. I mean, you have to be in good condition, good fitness condition, and she shows that she's in that condition. Let me see what she does now, facing her first delivery.
So she will face the bowler, Page, who is bowling from the commentary box end. She has been expensive, none for 26 from 3. And she's on her way. Bowling right arm over the wicket, medium pace. And this is in the block hole, driven by Henry, down the ground. They have crossed for 1. I think she's satisfied with that because Kaisia Knight comes on strike, the better of the 2 batters. And so the West Indies now 121 for 5. 5 ball left in the innings. Kaisia Knight on 28 from 18 comes into strike. And she'll be keen to get as many as possible from this last over. As we've been saying, Page has been expensive, 27 from 3.1. So she hasn't been able to exert pressure on the batsman. She hasn't been able to exercise that length and line, which is so critical, or even the deceptive delivery so far in this inning. She comes in. This is a full toss, driven and dropped by the bowler. It was a difficult chance, well above her head. She's a tall player, and she went up with both hands, and the ball hit her hands and went behind her, and they managed to go for a single. So the West Indies 122 for 5 in the last over. So here is Page at the top of her mark. Henry back on strike. She has 1 from 1. Tall batter as she awaits, right-handed. Page is into bowl, and she's swinging at this ball and is bowled. Bowled by a ball which was of full length, and she made the error, the cardinal error, the fundamental error of playing across the line of a ball which was of Yorker length, and the ball crashed into the base of the stump. So that's the end of Henry after a really exhilarating display out in the middle in terms of her running. But she has gone. She has been picked primarily to bowl, but she came out and added a fair degree of impetus to the West Indies innings because of her running between the wickets. She has departed in the last over, and the West Indies losing then Chanel Henry, bowled by Page for 1, made from 2 deliveries, 122 for 6. And this is over number 20 in progress.
Yeah, I mean, Henry is a better batter than that, Jack. I have seen her over the years, and I know she's a better batter than that. And I think she will be disappointed in the shot that she plays, because you can see after she got bowled, she was rehearsing and hitting and playing straight. And I know that she can hit the ball straight. I don't know why you have the tendency, to every time you want to go for a big shot, it's always a heave over mid-wicket when we have you have the capability and the capacity to hit the ball, in straight.
And so here is the new batter, and it's hit down the ground by Aline, and she's off the mark right away. We've had 4 balls in the last over. The West Indies 123 for 6. So unless we have 2 sixes in this over, they'll fall pretty much short and well short of that score they made in the first match at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium on Wednesday. They're 123 for 6. 2 deliveries left in the innings. The current rate 6.25 as Page bowling around the wicket to the left-handed Kaisia Knight, and Knight is driving down the ground. He goes down towards the mid-on, long-on area, and they'll get only a single for it. So the West Indies score inches on to 124 for 6. 1 ball left in the innings, and Aline will be the one facing that delivery from Page.
I think Knight is out of gas.
She's out of gas.
She's out of gas because she should be trying to get back on the strike. I mean, down there, the smaller boundary, the second, this is the last delivery. She should be trying to get back at the other batsman, Aline. She wanted to come back.
So here's the final delivery as Page bowls over the wicket, and Aline is driving, gets it off the inner part of the bat, and it squirts down to the short fine leg position, and they scurry a single. So the West Indies 125 for 6 of their 20 overs, 125 for 6, opting to bat in the CG Insurance T20 International, the second one in the series against Pakistan. The West Indies have a 1-0 lead, and they'll be hoping that the 125 would be enough to give them a winning lead in this 3-match series. It should be an interesting chase, because one element that we observed during the course of the West Indies innings was the bowlers bowling from that end had considerable help with a ball pitched just back of a length. It tended to keep low on several occasions during the West Indies innings, and if the bowlers can be able to exploit that, maybe the West Indies would be able to benefit significantly from that. So the West Indies making 125 for 6. Matthews had 9, Dottin 17, Taylor 5, Kishona Knight 15, Shadeen Nation made 28, Kaisia Knight was unbeaten on 30 from 20, Henry departed for 1, Aline was not out on 2. The West Indies 125 for 6. Certainly not what they were looking for after winning the toss.
No, I don't think so. I think they're about 31 short, and the ones was there to be had, to be honest. I mean, the pitch is on a little difficult side, but I mean, there are too many dot balls unnecessarily while looking to play across the line of the deliveries, and I think that Kaisia Knight, showed if you play proper cricket shots that, you can score freely. And hopefully that they can use the condition. Now the bowlers can use the conditions on this pitch, and the feelers can really back it up, and they can pull off a victory here. But I know Pakistan is going to come out, and the batters, they're going to come out positively, looking to get over the total.
Page had 4 overs, 1 for 31. Amin 4 overs, 2 for 31. Sana 2 for 18 from her allotment. Dar 1 for 16 from her 4. Sandhu had 3 overs, none for 18, and Riaz had 1 over for 11 runs. So equally, easily the best of the bowlers there for the Pakistanis, being Dar and Sana.
Indeed. And they showed, they bowl pretty well, especially, as Dar and Sana, they're confident, and they use the conditions gracefully and got the rewards. And, I think some of the batters for the West Indies team as well, gave them that opportunity, let them have the better of them by being too elaborate in their stroke play.
Yeah, you were making a point and suggesting that maybe there needed to be a separation with respect to the top 3 in the West Indies batting order. Haley Matthews, Deandra Dottin, and Stephanie Taylor coming back to back. Would you separate them in terms of the interest of the team and the interest of getting a score, in essentially having backup, one of these experienced players coming low in the order?
I believe so. I believe it will be more beneficial to the West Indies team. You can, as I said, you can assess it as it goes. If you have a very good partnership, and then Taylor has to come in. But in a situation where you lose one early, you have Knight, one of them, the open batters, and both of them, they look like they're in good touch. Nation as well, she is batting well. So you have the batters are coming together, looking pretty good. But the experience of these 3 top players for the West Indies are very important. So if they can mesh them between these other players. I think it will be more beneficial for the West Indies team.
Yeah, and they will be able to guide the inexperienced players in terms of dictating certain things coming with them low in the order. And serving as a backup because
Yeah,
then they would be able, especially Stephanie Taylor, maybe she should be the one coming
lower.
later on
Yeah,
in the order as the captain
yeah.
to kind of steady the ship
Because I can
should they run aground.
I can tell you if Stephanie Taylor was batting with Nation in that situation, she would know exactly what to tell and let her know that we have enough deliveries that you can play in this particular fashion, and because of the experience and how they look up to these players, it will help them to better their game, and eventually the team itself will benefit. So it's something that they need to learn. It's still a learning process, but it's something that they need to understand. Even the management team, I think, need to look at that in that way too.
Yes, and we hope that they do, and we see maybe a change for the next match because so far they haven't had the totals that perhaps they should have been able to get. That 136, the Pakistanis after collapsing managed to get within 10 runs of that first game total, and now 125 short of what they made in game one.
Yeah.
So something that they will need to review, and maybe we will see that coming forward. So the situation is that Pakistan need 126 to win. We'll have a double change in the commentary position because Marley Richards, the son of, in fact, we'll have one change. The son of Sir Vivian Richards, Marley Richards, will come alongside me as we look at the situation for the return of play after this break. So we'll take a break from our commentary position at the moment, and then we'll be back in a short while for coverage of this T20 International, the West Indies women against Pakistan. 6, with the main scorers being Kaisia Knight unbeaten on 30 from 20 deliveries, and Shadeen Nation scoring 28 from 33. But as we've been saying, she probably should have had more than those 28 runs because she neglected some of the basics, playing across the line far too often, perhaps being carried away by the need to get quick runs, and certainly deserting the fundamentals on several occasions. But she made an impact still, because the West Indies managed to get up to 125. And we know in T20 cricket, it's a fast-paced game. Anything can happen. We see deliveries keeping low, especially when pitched just back of a length by the bowler bowling from the northern end. And so anything can happen in this game. And the West Indies bowlers were looking to exploit any assistance they can get from the track out in the middle.
And yeah, it's a very good point you bring up there with Nation possibly wasting some deliveries. But also it shows you what could be possible if she can rectify that. She's quite a clean hitter of the ball, and if she can just rectify and choose the right deliveries in which to go after, she could be quite a powerful player for the West Indies in this middle order.
Certainly she can be. So the umpires are out. Umpires Christopher Wright and Christopher Taylor. So we had a lot of Christophers on the show here in terms of umpires. And they're out, and they are waiting the West Indies team, the West Indies players on the far side in a huddle. The Pakistanis are going out, they're two openers, and they're keen certainly to have a go at this West Indies total. Should be quite interesting here this afternoon. A period during the closing stages of the West Indies innings, we had the sunshine very much with us, but now the sun has gone beneath the clouds, and we're back to what it has been primarily for the duration of the match so far in terms of overcast conditions. And I'm sure that the West Indies bowlers and the West Indies fielders won't mind at all, because it would be cooler for them, and they can possibly get some assistance with conditions being this way. You would have played cricket in England, and this is these are conditions that are very much evident in England very, very often.
Yeah, not quite as warm, you'd say, but more often than not quite overcast, and really good conditions for bowling, and fast bowling in particular.
Yes, talking about England and your playing days, you're currently the Leeward Islands record holder for the highest score in a Leeward Islands tournament match that was made several years ago.
Were you there?
I don't think I was in Antigua at the time.
Right.
I was in Antigua at the time. But it was 319 you made against the British Virgin Islands
long
in Antigua.
time. Yeah, man.
That was something else, huh?
Yeah, and it's just a pleasure as well to be here and enjoying such a fantastic scenery. Two teams embarking on a quest to find the right combinations coming up on a World Cup. It's quite an exciting time, Jack.
Indeed. So we're going to see the first ball, and it will be Shamila Connell who will bowl the first delivery, and this is defensively played into the offside, coming nicely onto the front foot. The tall Pakistani opening batsman in Rauf
Javera.
Yeah, she had a ball as well. So she's holding the bat aloft and just looking to settle into her stance, as well as Shamila Connell comes from the far end into bowl. Tall fast bowler, and she's onto the front foot and stays it down to third man. There's a field up on the boundary. She comes off the boundary and sends the return into wicket-keeper Knight. And the score, Pakistan 1 for no wicket. We've had 2 balls in their reply. They need 126 to win.
And Shamilia here, she'll be hoping to replicate what she did in that first game, making early inroads in this Pakistan batting lineup and putting them behind the 8 ball pretty early.
She's in, right arm over the wicket, and it's driven into the offside. Not getting the timing into the stroke. That's Khan, and just playing with a square bat and looking to beat the field, and not being able to do so. So dot ball resulting, remains 1 for no wicket halfway through the opening over. The tall fast bowler Shamila Connell goes past umpire Christopher Wright, and this is outside the off stump, and she's slashing. A dapper little player is is Khan, not being able to get bat onto that one, playing with a horizontal bat outside the line of the off. So I'm having to reach for it, and the ball taken low down by Knight.
And we're seeing more of the same here, Jack, especially from this northern end, in terms of the ball not bouncing as high as the batsmen anticipate.
So we're watching as Shamila Connell races into bowl. And here is Khan pushing the ball into offside to go for the quick signal return. Fire to the bench. She hits the stumps and she's out.
Yep.
She's out. Run out. Beautiful bit of work there in the outfield. That ball was pushed away into the covers. They had a consultation just before that delivery, and the consultation probably had something to do with getting quick singles, because they set off right away. But there was Khan not being able to make a ground. The return hitting the stumps of the non-striker's end, and she was found short of it. So that's the first strike by the West Indies, removing Khan by the run-out route in the opening over. And Pakistan are 1 for 1, needing 126 to win.
Yeah, once again, early wickets here for the Windies, but coming via the run-out route there. Good fielding, sharp stuff in the circle, just exactly what you want from the West Indian perspective. And with the direct hit, more often than not, you're going to be out, Jack.
Yes, a direct hit. Not sure who was the one who effected that direct hit, but it was a wonderful pickup, beautiful execution. The ball hitting the stumps. It was a firm throw as well, because the throw had to be quick, and the ball crashed into the stumps of the non-striker's end, and there was Khan short. So Connell continues, and here is Rauf coming onto the front foot and stroking the ball up into the offside. That was the final delivery. So at the end of the first over, Pakistan needing 126 to win. They're 1 for 1 with Khan run out. Another Khan has come in. She is on naught. Rauf is on 1, and the West Indies making the start that they really wanted to make, to get an early wicket, and they've done just that.
And it'll be very interesting to see how Stefani uses her, especially her spin bowlers here, Jack. We saw in the previous game, in the A-team game, where both teams utilized their spinners to great effect. And with Hayley Matthews here from the southern end, I think we should be looking to do the same.
Hayley Matthews will be bowling her off spin from the commentary box end, and certainly will be hoping to make amends after she really gave it away while batting. One of the experienced players in this West Indies side, and really she should have been looking to shoulder the responsibilities after losing DeAndre Dottin, her opening partner. So she has the ball now, and she goes away from us, and it's turned away into the onside by Khan. A little bit of hesitation, and they will eventually get the single. The ball turned away by, in fact, it was Javed. Javed coming there, coming in at number 3, and just turning the ball into the onside, and she hesitated along with Rauf, Javeria Rauf, and they eventually got the run with the fielder coming in from the square leg position. So Rauf is now facing the bowling of Hayley Matthews, who is in, and she's turning the ball into the onside. She's looking for a run. She has to go back because the square leg is quickly in, just almost adjacent to the umpire Wright, Christopher Wright, at that square leg position. That looks to be Anisa Mohammed.
Yep.
Coming in there to do the fielding. Anisa Mohammed has been around for a long time.
Very
she was part of
experienced.
that 2016 World Cup winning team. So was Hayley Matthews, who is in, bowling off spin. And the ball is played with the turn into the onside. Just a gentle prod onto the front foot by Rauf. No aggressive intent whatsoever. And the ball just hitting the face of the bat and gently rolling into the onside to picked up by the mid-wicket. It remains 2 for 1. This is over number 2 in progress. The off spinner is in. This is short outside line off stop and cut away. Goes down to the third man position. I think it will get into the boundary. It is slowing up, and it gets there just about now. And that's 4 runs. So ball outside the off stumps. She went for the cut shot. I'm not sure if she got it where she intended.
No.
The ball coming off the edge and going down to third man. Fine for 4 runs.
It was a bit too fine in terms of where she was looking to hit the ball, but the result was the same way, 4 runs. And Pakistan need a partnership here. Don't want to fall too far behind this run rate.
Rauf is again on strike, and she's coming forward. Plays the ball back towards the bowler. No chance for her to get a run there. Ball going just on the offside of the pitch for Hayley Matthews to pick the ball up. They remain on 6 for 1. 1 ball left in over number 2. The West Indies having made 125 for 5 from there. This ball is beating the bat and beating the wicket keeper as well. It's running down behind the keeper, Knight, and it has gone away for 4. We look at the umpire, 4 byes. So it beat everybody. It beat the bat and it beat the wicket keeper, and down to the boundary for 4 byes. So 10 for 1 after 2 overs, and Pakistan looking to get to 126 to level the 3-match series.
Yeah, just there on that last delivery from Hayley Matthews, well bowled in the right area, not presenting any width for the batter to free her arms, and the keeper just not coming up with the ball. And these are the little things that the Windies team need to cut out of their game in order to become to go to the top of T20 cricket once again, as we saw in 2016.
Yes, much to do.
Much to do, but a lot to work with from what we've seen, Jack.
Certainly. It will be Connell to continue the attack. She'll begin her 2nd over. None for 5. She comes in to bowl. Right arm fast medium, and this beats the batsman, beats the wicket keeper. It's gone away for 4 runs. So there was a little bit of touch as well. It was full length outside the line of the off stump. And there was Javid playing at it, and she got apparently along the edge, and it beat the wicket keeper and beat the slip field as well, and down to the boundary for 4.
A bit of a French cut there, and in that position, there's no fielder in that position, Jack. And the Windies just leaking a few runs in the last few deliveries here, Jack.
Anisa Mohammed was at slip. She has been pulled away. She has gone to square leg, just to the right of the umpire. So she has gone into that position. So there's no slip. Knight, the wicketkeeper, looks to crouch now, and there's a signal of dead ball from umpire Christopher Wright. Not sure what happened there.
Looks like the groundsmen are assembling here, Jack. Might be a shower on the way.
Yes. And the forecast is that there will be these sort of showers. There will be a fast moving rainfall, if you will. This is clipped away down towards the backward square position. Anisa Mohammed is giving chase, but valiantly and in vain, because the ball has gone away for 4 runs. Beautifully executed there by Javid. The ball on the legs from Connell, and she clipped it away down past the backward square leg position and down to the boundary for 4.
And yeah, in the last 5 deliveries, Jack, we've seen 4 boundaries. 3 of them down to the 3rd man fine leg area, and one just down to a wideish fine leg. So Windies leaking runs and need to pull this back at this point in time.
Yeah, the rate 7.71 at the moment. As Connell is in. This is driven into the offside. Javid coming nicely onto the front foot and playing with confidence up towards the mid-off position.
And it also shows you how quickly things can get out of hand. 6 deliveries ago, the run rate was 3.68. And with those boundaries, it's just run up to 7.2. Pakistan fighting back here, Jack.
Connell will be looking to fight back with this delivery. She strides in, right arm over the wicket, and this is driven into the offside, goes up to the mid-off position. A scrambling save there by the mid-off, having to go down quickly to make that save. A dot ball, something that would be pleasing to the West Indies and their fans. 18 for 1. We're in the 3rd over, 2 balls to come. Connell, who wrecked Pakistan at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium with 3 wickets and had them reeling at 57 for 6, is the bowling operation. Runs in from the northern end into bowl to Javid. Javid stays it into the offside. They go for the quick single, and the fielder doesn't pick up at that cover position. Just taking eyes off the ball at that critical moment, looking to pick up with her right hand and having a throw at the stumps, and she missed the ball completely, and the single was easily taken in the end. 19 for 1.
There was a run-out chance there on the cards, Jack. If Kishona Knight could have just picked up, but she took her eyes off the ball at the last second and couldn't manage to field cleanly.
Cornell is in, driven, on the bounce, back to the bowler. That looked to be a slow delivery bowled by Cornell. The last one of her second over. We have had 3 overs bowled in the Pakistani innings. They are 19 for 1, going at 6.33, and they need 126 to win the match and level the 3-match CG Insurance T20 series.
Yeah, they brought their run rate up to 6.33 now, and the required run rate, they're above the required run rate of 6.29. So at this point in time, Pakistan are doing a good job to come back from the loss of the skipper early. These two showing quite positive intent. West Indies have to respond.
And what was noticeable during the first match was the resilience of the Pakistanis. 57 for 6, and then they got 126 within 10 runs of the West Indies total. This is hit in the air. The fielder is running back from inside the circle, but she will not get there. It falls well in front of her, and they'll sprint back for the second, intentionally looking to go over the top, perhaps looking for a boundary on that occasion, not quite getting the timing into the stroke, but had enough to elude the fielder. Well, I should say fielders, because 2 ran back, and she got a couple of runs on that occasion. Javid, she's on to 12 from 7, and the West Indies, Pakistan are now 21 for 1, replying to the West Indies 125. And Hayley Matthews not going through with that delivery. Signal of dead ball comes from umpire Christopher Taylor.
And we've seen this from the Pakistanis, even in the first game. They're not afraid to try and hit the ball over the off stump, especially when the field's up in this over the offside, sorry, especially when the field's up in the circle. And on that occasion, didn't quite execute, but got 2 runs.
Off spinner Hayley Matthews is in, and Javid is undriving, hitting the ball away towards the long on position. Selman comes around to her left and sends the return on the bounce to Hayley Matthews. Only 1 to Javid, just undriving well. She has looked good in the inning so far. She's on to 13 from 8, and the rate 6.60. Pakistan 22 for 1. Matthews in the second over goes in, and this is short and cut away, but straight to the fielder.
Missed out.
At cover. Yes, it was a bad delivery.
Yeah, short and wide outside the off stump, and she got to free her arms. Just couldn't find that gap. But she's still in, and she's looking pretty good here, Ralph, playing a good supporting role to Javid.
Yeah, she seems to have a wonderful economy of movement here. And this is outside the line of the off leg stump. She's having a flick at it, not being able to make contact. Signal of wide comes on by Christopher Taylor. And so that inches the Pakistani total on to 23 for 1. We have
oh, no.
somebody, some West Indian player has fallen down. Wow.
Oh, no.
Wow. Oh, wow. We have a situation here. West Indies player is down.
Yeah.
And this brings to mind the images we saw in Euro
with Christian Eriksen.
20, yeah, Christian Eriksen. She's on her back, not quite able to identify the fielder.
That's
the fielder. She just collapsed in that position, and so there is a stretcher being called for. So there is a situation here where we have a West Indian player who is down, and she's so this is a tragic situation we have here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground. The West Indian player is down. She just collapsed, and a stretcher has been called for. In the meantime, she's getting some attention on the field, and so we have an ambulance, of course, always stationed here. So I think in very quick order we will see the ambulance coming onto the field. The stretcher has been brought out for her. Yet to identify the player who is down for the West Indies, but certainly hope and pray that the situation that she's in at the moment, she'll be able to recover from it. Because
It's quite distressing to see,
Yes.
Jack, to be honest.
yes,
Let's just hope that they can sort her out as quickly as possible and get her the help that she needs.
and I suppose that the medics so here would be able to provide whatever assistance that they can. Not sure if a doctor is present, but certainly there's always a medical team here with the ambulance, and let's hope that all will be well with that West Indian player.
The
who's
whole
down, so
team's
we-
around her. They're looking quite concerned.
Yeah. So we have a situation here where we have had an abrupt medical situation here at the Coolidge Cricket Grounds in this T20 International. Pakistan replying to the West Indies score of 125, 23 for 1 in over number 4 when a West Indian player collapsed. And she's being taken off the field now. And she's being about to be stretchered off, and let's hope that all will be well with that particular player. Really, you don't
You don't want to see
want to
these.
see the,
yeah.
this situation at all. So we have rain at the moment, and I think the ground staff will be pulling the covers on. Because the rain has certainly increased at the moment. Here the Sir Vivian Richards, the ground staff a little bit late in coming on as the rain sweeps across the field. The umpires Christopher Wright and Christopher Taylor just removing the stumps, and now the ground staff running on to the field to have the pitch covered, that particular playing area, as the rain sweeps across. It's not a massive downpour. It's what you call a steady sort of a drizzle, and but is enough to it's enough to wet the pitch, and so the ground staff would
It's
have
getting
to.
a nice little sprinkle here.
Yes. So the ground staff is making sure that the track that is being used for this particular game is covered, and they're in the process of doing that. But the West Indies player has gone off for medical attention, obviously. The West Indies player who collapsed on the field, and let's hope that all Mali
Yeah,
will be able to,
I hope so.
yes, will be well with her.
I'm at a loss for words, to be honest, but she's in the ambulance, and she's in the place that she actually should be at this point in time.
Yes, and if she's in need of urgent attention,
Yeah.
that's certainly the place to be. And then
Oh, wow.
the bowlers, the medical people, and the doctors, whoever, would be able to apply what's needed for her.
Apparently it's Aliyah Aline.
Aliyah Aline.
Yeah, number 78.
And that's one of the new players in this West Indies setup.
She bowled really nicely in that first game as well, picking up a couple wickets, quite skiddy. So let's just hope that she'll be okay after this medical emergency.
So Aliyah Aline is the fielder who collapsed and getting some much needed medical attention at the moment. At this point in time as well, the rain has stopped. So as the weather experts have predicted and forecast that we'll have these sorts of interruptions during the course of the period that the hurricane is in the general vicinity of the windwards, and because of the atmospheric conditions associated with the hurricane, we'll have periods of rain sweeping across some of these islands, and that has happened during the course of this match so far.
We've been quite lucky though. We haven't lost a single ball yet. You know, the other day and today, with all the few stoppages, but we haven't lost any real time out of the games.
Yes. So the sun is out at the moment as the umpires make their way back out. And the question now, what sort of psychological impact will the situation with Aline have on the players?
Well, if you can remember, the Denmark team chose to come back out and play after they had word that Christian was fine. And but then after the game, they came back out and then said they possibly thought that they shouldn't have played. So it'll be very interesting to see the effect that this will have on both sets of players.
Yes. So the umpires are about to come out. The West Indies players have moved from their enclosure, looking to come onto the field. And the sun that I spoke about just a short while ago, the sun has gone back beneath the clouds, and the cloudy conditions have returned. So maybe in a while we'll see another sort of sweeping shower coming across the Coolidge cricket grounds.
It's quite a chaotic scene here at the moment, Jack, to be honest.
Yes, the player, as we have been saying, Aline, has been put into the ambulance, and what attention that is required is being administered to her, and I would imagine that she'll be off to the hospital in very short order to get further attention.
But the team's actually in a huddle here down on the boundary. It looks like they're going to come back out, Jack.
Yes, the umpires are out there at the moment. In fact, the third umpire, or we can say the fourth umpire, because with television now, we have 4 officials.
Right.
The third umpire is the television umpire,
right,
who is responsible for the replays and so on. But the fourth official is the one who sort of coordinates things, and so he's putting the stumps back in place out in the middle. And as a point of caution, the ground staff, members of the ground staff, they've come onto the field again
with a small
with
cover.
yes, to make sure that if there is that swift
little sprinkle,
they'll be in the position to cover the pitch very, very quickly. So that's just a matter of caution on the part of the ground staff. So the umpires are down there in consultation, maybe with the match referee. That's the 2 umpires presiding in this game, umpire Christopher Wright and Christopher Taylor. They're in consultation. There looks to be the match referee they're having a conversation with, and that will be determined as to maybe making a determination as to what will happen. At the moment, the pitch has been covered as a matter of precaution at this time.
Jack, actually, we're just getting word that there's a second West Indian player down. Yeah, in the corner over there by the dressing room. Just got word that there's a second player down, not sure with what. But it seems that there's a second player who's somehow collapsed in the West Indies team, and there's a second stretcher coming. It's just out of our eyesight, but you can vaguely see what's going on.
Yes.
Yeah,
and that
on screen.
Yeah, that is.
That's remarkable. I've never seen
begs the
anything like
question,
this.
yes,
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, what's happening?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's something in the air.
Wow.
I don't know. And
Wow.
This is unusual.
Very much so. I've never seen this at a cricket game before.
I hope not that it's because of what happened to Ali.
That she has had
a
an
psychological
effect.
effect on her, and she just got overwhelmed by the situation.
Wow.
But that's only conjecture. We don't know the situation that she's been attended to by the staff, and I'm wondering now if the ambulance has left with Aline, or she's still here. But
Well, those are the same two medical practitioners that we saw earlier. So, yeah, but the ambulance possibly could have gone, yes.
And this puts into question whether the game will be able to continue with this sort of situation.
Looks like Shadeen Nation.
Shadeen Nation is the one down.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if the substitutes will be allowed. Well, we know in the case of concussion that the substitutes would be allowed to take part in normal circumstances if a batter, for instance, had suffered a situation as this case, where once it's they're concussed.
But in terms of medical emergencies,
bowler, they would be able to. But I don't know if the rule extends to a situation like this, where a player has just collapsed.
I think the discussion.
I think it should, though.
Yes, it should.
It should, because it is a case where, you want the teams to be on par. You don't want a team to have any decided advantage over the other.
And it's happened during the game.
Just because of illness.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why the authorities, the ICC and all the persons responsible for adjusting the rules and the laws of the game have come up with that. And I think it's a wonderful idea.
For sure.
To allow players to not just come onto field, but to be able to bowl and to be able to bat. Once the selected player has become incapacitated because of medical reasons.
And not just only concussions, just expand it a little further. And the ICC or the MCC, they have discretion, and I'm sure it reaches to those boundaries as well.
Yeah. At the moment, the rain is playing cat and mouse with us because the rain is back here at the Coolidge Cricket Grounds. And I think at this point, should the match continue, the Duckworth-Lewis turn method will certainly be employed because I think we'll be able to. I think overs would be lost in this sort of situation. It's already after 4.
I spoke too soon.
Yes, it's really pouring. It's really pouring down at the moment here the Coolidge Cricket Grounds, and so we will have a.
Wow! Yeah, it's coming.
I suppose you can hear the rain really pouring down, and through our microphones.
And it's unfortunate that you still haven't managed to get the player up from that position there. Right.
So I think what will happen here, we will take a break. We'll try and ascertain what's the situation, and then once we have news, we will be able to come back and provide the necessary information so that you can be abreast of what is happening here at the Coolidge Cricket Grounds. At the moment, the pitch is covered. We have a downpour, and we're trying to keep track with what has been unfolding with the collapse of 2 players of the West Indies team. So we'll take a break at this moment, and then we're back shortly with an update.
I think it's good. It's very good. I think throughout the series, not only today, we as a bowling group, we've been restricting South Africa for a pretty decent total. This is the first time we defend a total in the series, and I think we did a very good job defending 160 yard to restrict them to 140 yard. I think credit must be given to the bowlers, all the bowlers, and especially again Obed McCoy showing his class, keep improving and learning every game. Fidel getting the opportunity for the first time, bowl the first over with pace and some aggression that was missing. And yeah, Chris, taking that first wicket in the second over. So all in all, great team effort. Our attitude in the field was brilliant. We know how important this game was for us to win to level the series. And I think our ground fielding and our catches was very good.
Skipper, firstly, congratulations on your half century today.
Thank
After
you.
17 overs, we were 112 for 6. What type of total were you looking at that point in time?
To be honest, I'm looking at 145, 150. If we got 130, 35 runs in that period there, that's gotten us to a reasonable total. But again, when you plan, the Lord always have better plans for you. So we were able to get to 167 in the end. I think the most important thing was staying to the end and targeting the right side of the boundary.
And batting, was it a plan to go after the pace bowlers at the end, or were you guys just responding to the situation at hand?
We have to respond to the situation. That is who's going to bowl. That point in time, the spinners will finish, and we had no choice but to go hard. It just goes to show, as I said, with wickets in hand, if we have some more destructive hitters in the back end, the damage we can do in the last 4 overs. We talk about being last quarter specialists, and being able, throughout the series to have guys in the back end, to try to finish off games. We got opportunity to bat first today, and posting a reasonable total, in the bowl, I think was fantastic.
And will today's result encourage more of us batting first in the future?
Again, that's how we operate. We move, by the tide. We bat first today and we won, so we'll do that. But we actually batted second in the first game that we won, and we won as well. I think the conditions and everything will dictate the decisions, and we'll see where that takes us, come Saturday.
Just a word on the bowling performance. Our bowlers have been very strong throughout the series, and again here tonight, led by the champion DJ Bravo.
Yeah, kudos to them. Time and time again, they keep coming up for us. Obed again, bowling well. Bravo, coming in, for 4 games on a trot and, doing well. It just goes to show sometimes, experience, is very, very key. And him helping out the younger bowlers and, marshalling it through from a bowling perspective. I think he has done a fantastic job, and it's good that he's actually playing for us, and we're getting, a bit of, what he can offer in his latter stages of his career.
Now that we're 4 matches in, what is your assessment of the conditions here in Grenada and our chances in that 50-20?
Well, our chances are 50-50. Obviously, South Africa have done well. They have adapted to the conditions. We have adapted to the conditions, as well. So it's going to be a rank, sort of who, holds their nerves at the end of the series. Who does the basic, sort of right. And let's see what happens, on Saturday. It's a matter of regrouping and coming back, stronger and keep trying to improve each and every time.
Thanks, Skip.
Thank you.
Skip.
Welcome back to the Coolidge Cricket Ground. This is Vernon Springer and I'm joined by Marley Richards. Because to give you an update, after the rain break, we've had two medical emergency situations here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground involving two of the West Indian players, one in Chanel Henry and the second in Shedi Nation. As we speak, we can't give you any more medical information in terms of what has happened to the players because nothing has been diagnosed. What I can say to you is that they have been transported as we speak to the Sir Lester Bird Mount St. John Hospital right here in St. John's, Antigua and Barbuda. And later on, Cricket West Indies will be able to issue a press release. In terms of Marley Richards and myself, we have just given you an idea in terms of really what would have happened. Two medical emergencies happened to two West Indian players just before the rain break, one in Chanel Henry and Shedi Nation. Everything seems to be all right otherwise. The groundsmen are just getting the covers off the pitch. In fact, they've just been able to go from east to west, so they've been able to get all of the water off there. That's the big cover. They're going to work feverishly now on the small cover, and then they will be able to make a big move and be able to take the grey one off, which deals with the practice areas. I'm alongside Marley Richards. Interesting game, Marley. Pakistan will need 103 of 99 balls. Game on still here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground, home of West Indies cricket.
Yeah, that's for sure. But it was also quite distressing to see the Windies players in the situation that they were in. But like you said earlier, they're on their way to the Mount St. John Hospital, and let's hope they get the best medical care possible at this point in time.
Certainly, and one must give major credit to the medical fraternity here in Antigua and Barbuda, especially at the Coolidge Cricket Grounds, along with both the Pakistan and the Cricket West Indies team, medical team, who first of all had to deal with the situation with Chanel Henry on the field, and then right after that, another incident when they just was about to come back out of the break with Shedi Nation. So all is clear. The two umpires in Christopher. Lots of Christophers here today. I wonder if this is Christopher Columbus country, based on what's been happening. Christopher Taylor and Christopher White have done an excellent job here so far. The only wicket to fall so far, Marley Richards, has been who?
Javera Khan run out.
Javera Khan run out.
A direct hit by Kishona Knight.
Oh, man, that's something that you can't. That's the captain, so she must be etching with everything that she could think about there by being missing out. It was a brilliant piece of pick up and throw right there, and you know what happens when you hit the stumps.
It's like the 5th or 6th run out that we've seen today.
Oh my gosh!
Over the span of 2 games,
it's not been a good sign. I spoke to the match referee, Ryan King, former West Indies fast bowler, who is now an ICC match referee, and he said to me, "Don't worry, Springs, no overs will be reduced, so we're going straight. So we have good light, and Pakistan will need 103 runs in 99 balls, and the mindset right now of the team West Indies." They'll have to be able to pick themselves up. They'll have to lift themselves up, Marley, so far to be able to rebound off. Just to give you an idea in terms of what would have happened during the West Indies innings, the West Indies would have won the toss and batted first. They scored 125 for 6, with the top scorer being Kesia Knight with 30 of 20 deliveries. Then we had Shedi Nation with 28 of 33 deliveries. The other contributors were DeAndre Dottin with 17 of 12 and Kishona Knight with 15 of 24. Their 50 came off 63 balls, 45 minutes, 4 boundaries, and 1 6. Their 100 came off 114 balls, 77 minutes, 8 4s, and 2 6s. For Pakistan, Team Pakistan, well, the day would belong to Amin in terms of the figures that she returned. When you look at it, and I really was impressed with her line in terms of what she did.
Sana, I think.
Well, I'm going for Amin based on what's happening in terms of the context of the game. Even though she picked up 2 for 31, the energy and the impetus that she provided for the attack also helped now for Sana to pick up 2 for 18. And then the other wicket takers were Diana Begg with 1 for 23 and Nida Dar. How can you just forget her? She keeps getting wickets all the time.
Right, but if you really think about it, Fatima Sana removed, was it DeAndre Dottin and Stefani Taylor?
Yeah,
those were the early inroads. I think with the way she bowled from that northern end, utilizing the fact that the wicket wasn't bouncing, the ball was actually skidding through on the West Indian batsman, and I think she's done a good job in terms of the wicket she picked up and also her economy rate.
67 dot balls, Mali, in the West Indies innings.
Yeah, too many. That's over half the deliveries And it's something that definitely Courtney Walsh and his backroom staff will have to work on with this team. Too many dot balls, not rotating the strike as well as they would have liked. And if you think about it, to still get the scores that they get with these slight adjustments, they'll be posting bigger totals, Vernon.
Well, the head coach of the West Indies women's team has just walked across and he's talking to the umpires and everything is okay. So Christopher Taylor is maybe just saying to him, we're going and we're getting ready to go. Everything remains the same. So Courtney Walsh having his work cut out for him today. No reduction in overs. And just about the umpires getting ready to head back out. As soon as they just get this cover, big great cover off the ground, the sunlight has peeped through nicely. It's really cleared up beautifully here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground. And one thing I can say to you is that the ground drains nicely here. At what we used to call the Stanford Ground is now the home of West Indies cricket, where the high performance centre would be. The home for Cricket West Indies. Pakistan will need 103 in 99 balls. The West Indies in their innings, 125 for 6, 9 bounces and 3 sixes contributed during the process. Their 50 came off 63 balls, 45 minutes, 4 bounces and 1 6. Their 114 balls, 77 minutes, 8 fours and 2 sixes. At the moment, Pakistan in reply of 3.3 overs, they're 23 for 1, a run out. And we're ready to go. So let's see what's going to be happening. We're looking to see the umpire Christopher Taylor, who's just having a chat as soon as he gets that sorted out. He's just making the clearance, and just as we speak, the umpires are hitting the ropes as we speak right now. They're out.
And also, with the medical emergency happening to those two players, I've seen Shabika Gavnavi and Sherry-Ann Fraser both sprinting over to join up with the senior women's team. I think they'll be playing some part, either on the field or in the support staff.
Well, it has to be on the field. So, the provisions would have been able to be made for that, because you would have two concussion.
But you also have players in the team, so it would be down to the coaching staff on who they use.
They would have they communicated already.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You still have a 14, so you don't know exactly what role they'll be playing.
Well, let's wait and see if they will be on the field. We'll find out sooner rather than later. You look like you've seen them on the field, but we'll wait and see.
No, I haven't seen them
yet. So the West Indies team is about to get out onto the track. And we have Raif, who's on 5, and Iram Javed, who's on 16. Looking to get herself out there. So let's see what's going to be the approach of the West Indies team.
It looks like Ram Harak is one of the players.
Yes.
Who's come on.
Looks like walking across right there in front of the batsman now.
Yeah.
So Ram Harak given an opportunity, and this is going to be a West Indies team will have to spring themselves back up and out very quickly. Christopher Taylor just waving to the pavilion and to the scorers and saying, we're rearing and ready to go. And I'm alongside Mally Richards, who will be able to look at this contest and see what's happening. In the meantime, Stephanie Taylor just collected the ball and will continue her challenge to try and see if she can be able to dismiss one or two of the players. The current run rate is about 6.57 as we speak. And if you're wondering what's happening, we have a live cricket coverage. The CG Insurance International Series, West Indies versus Pakistan, 2 powerhouses in nation cricket. And Mally Richards has got some good news for me.
Yeah, it's the 2 players who've come onto the field are number 77, Karishma Ramharak, and number 35, Brittany Cooper.
Okay, so the other 2 players who Mally called around before, they would maybe join the support staff.
Yeah.
Taylor just having a discussion with Taylor. In fact, umpire Christopher Taylor, both from Jamaica, making sure everything is all right. Mally, did you bowl in your hat a couple of times?
Yeah.
This is a good thing. We'll come back to that. Matthews comes in now, right after the break, bang on target, first delivery.
But I think what we're seeing is more bowlers actually bowling in their caps in these COVID times, with the fact that the umpire isn't really allowed to take the caps. The bowlers tend to just keep them on, especially the spin bowlers.
Raif waits now for Stephanie Taylor, wearing the number 50, comes into bowl to a flatter faster. That's
That's
gone to his bowler. Matthews strike. Right after the break, and wickets always tend to fall after the break or something there. She would have been in the pavilion for a long period of time, played inside, and got her on the edge, onto the stump. And West Indies have struck 23 for 2, and she knows that she had to be a little bit more tighter, Marley Richards.
Yeah, for sure. And if you remember, in her first over, she bowled quite a similar delivery, which was outside the off stump, just turned and just missed the stumps, and the keeper couldn't collect, and it went down to the boundary for 4 byes. On this occasion, she was good enough to hit the stumps, pitching that ball just outside the off stump or on the line of off stump, and just enough turn to beat the defences of the batsman Khan.
Out comes our good friend, Nida Da. And the last time she started in a hurry, she hit a couple of boundaries and then was bowled by Shamela Connell. Today, she's going to be facing up to Hayley Matthews, and will have to be unsung. She walks out with authority. That's what I like about her, business-like. Sort of reminds me a little bit about the old Javed Miandad sort of approach there, letting you know, yes, that, hey, I'm here, I'm coming out, and so you got to get yourself organized because I'm going to take on the attack. She's the wicket that the West Indies is going to know that they're going to need. No slip at all for her early o'clock. And in the meantime, Matthews is just saying to Selman, be careful, because she's going to play some shots. And they have a little sort of very 5-4 field, so pretty interesting. Long on, mid-wicket, short mid-wicket, square leg, short fine leg. And that's on the leg side. Taylor is in now. Not Taylor, Matthews is in now to bowl to Dada.
Opportunity.
Mohammed.
Needed a direct hit.
She got in. And for some reason, a little bit of miscommunication there. No need for that. Javed, don't think that was a single, Mallory Richards.
Nah, it didn't look like a single.
Where was Javed going?
I don't know, and you didn't really hear the communication between the batters, and it's been a hallmark of both games, or so far in this today and the previous day, the series on a whole. Miscommunication between batters on both the Windies and the Pakistan teams.
So all has ended well. Matthews 2 overs so far has cost her 9 runs. She's picked up 1 wicket. Pakistan is scoring at 5.75. Shamila Connell is continuing, so that's a good sign, because in the game before, Taylor did bowl a straight through. She's strong enough, and so she'll be able to continue. 4 overs have been bowled, 23 for 2. Javed is in strike, and as Mali said, the communication line just needs to be open. Wonder if they're using iNet or Flow or Digicel. But they should be using the Flow app right now. Connell in now to bowl to Javed, who's just back and just working this into the square leg area and getting an easy single.
Well, based on the communication issues, I'll put my money on Digicel.
You put your money on Digicel. The good thing is that Flow has the rights for the series.
Exactly.
24 for 2.
He said no miscommunication with Flo, huh?
No miscommunication at all with Flo.
Hey, Flo, holler at us, okay? We're doing a job here.
This is going to be the third over here so far for Connell. Before this, Connell would have been 2 for 10. 2 overs, not for 10. And so she is not among the wickets yet. And she'll be looking to maybe try and see if she can dismiss Dar. Dar getting her first delivery for Shamila Connell. Back on target, but that one hitting her a little bit high. It was appeal for a leg before. But she's pegging her back there with some good pace. And Connell looks like she's not afraid of Dar. And Dar is up for the challenge. 24 for 2 Pakistan.
And yeah, Javed and Dar having real communication issues. You see them remonstrating with each other on that occasion. Javed wanted to come through and Dar didn't respond.
I don't think it was a single either. So Dar did the right thing right there. CG Insurance International Series, West Indies versus Pakistan. Connell glides away from the CIUN. Again, Dar getting a little bit into tangle. Feet not moving right there. She's got to get herself moving there. And Connell is bowling with some good pace here so far from the Citizens by Investment Unit N here in St. John's, Antigua. It's a lovely afternoon here as the sun has come out nicely and glazing across the ground here at the Coolidge ground. 24 for 2 Pakistan.
And just before the rain delay, Pakistan were building up a nice momentum, having quite a few boundaries in quick succession, and the rain delay has come and arrested that momentum.
Here is that just working this into the square leg area. Coming around nicely is Nahisa Mohammed in front of Christopher Taylor. Lovely piece of work there. Ground feeling, especially from the vice captain of the West Indies women's team, Anisa Mohammed. And just need to just settle the nerves down and just get everything going right. The West Indies in with a chance of trying to see if they could snap this one up and pull the one away. Did I say Anisa Mohammed fielded that one?
Yeah.
Right. So there was good work here by her at all. Connell comes in now to bowl to Da. Da back and looking to spank that. Can't beat the fielder backward point. Who's that? DeAndre Dottin.
Yep.
Rubbing away nicely. The 5-ounce ball inside the 25-yard circle. This has been a good over so far from Connell. She wants to end well.
And what's the issue with Dottin's fitness in terms of her bowling? Is she
Well, I
just
think
playing strictly as a batter?
No, well, the shoulder, I think, so maybe they're taking it in stages.
Taking it slow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they don't really want to risk her too early. Connell comes up 1-1 off the over here so far. Bolt to that one kept low. That was a good over. That's a good 5-ball delivery to Da. And Da had to respect them. 24 for 2 at the end of over number 5, Molly Richards.
Yeah, good comeback there from Connell, 3 overs, 11 runs. She hasn't picked up the wickets today, but she's been quite economical. And the Windies, after the rain delay, have come out and hit their straps. And Pakistan, once again, under pressure. Let's see how they respond.
Well, the thing about the Pakistan women's cricket team is that they tend to lose wickets in clusters. And we saw that in the South Africa innings.
Both teams,
and we also saw that at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. They had a good start, and then all of a sudden, in terms of what is happening. So that and Javed, this partnership is going to be important. It's going to be critical in terms of, we're talking about game awareness every day. And I'm sure somebody right now might be saying, what is Molly Richards and Vernon Springer talking about? Well, we'll see what's going to be happening. Let's see who can be able to buckle to the pressure here. Javed is 14, and Taylor aborted a run. Christopher Taylor turns around now and signals dead ball. Tall Jamaican umpire. We're hoping to follow in the footsteps of people like Steve Buckner, who now lives in the States and is enjoying himself, doing some football coaching and still umpiring now and again. Here is Javed coming across the line right there, looking for a big heave there. There was a peel for a leg before because she came right across in front of the stump. But Christopher Taylor originally had already said not out.
Missed out there with the fielder up in the circle. All she had to do was just
Get
bat on ball, and it possibly would have been 4 runs.
Offline delivery there by Taylor. Not Taylor, but Matthews. She's going to have to be able to work on her control here. No need to give away anything back. Here was Javed looking to go for a big expansive shot. Hit that down to long on. Selman comes off the boundary right in front of the small spectators that have come out here to support the West Indies women team, the women in maroon. That's what it is here. And they've been very vocal.
And if you think from what we saw the other day, especially from Aisha Nazim, the way she came out and hit towards the end, these two just need to put a partnership together and keep it close.
Da comes quietly forward. Good, elegant shot there. She stepped forward. You could hear the lovely sound of the bat. It's complete differences to facing Connell.
Yeah, they can't afford that run rate to get away, though. It's at 4.55 at this point in time. The required run rate is 6.97, just under 7s. They've got to be keeping up with the run rate at the same time.
Daw is not. Matthews in out the ball to Daw. Da is looking to punch that. Can't beat it. Taylor sneaks in very quickly, feels the ball, rubbing it away in her flannels, which is on the back of her, and she lobs it back to Hayley Matthews. Matthews is into her third over, 1 for 10. Picked up a wicket right after the rain break. Game on here. Hayley Matthews from the media center and is in now to bowl to Da. Da comes quietly forward, sneaks a single which. Javed going, somebody could be in trouble. Another wicket has gone. Poor communication. And I don't know who Javed is going to blame, but that just was not a single. Molly Richards.
Not at all.
Not even if you were playing on the beach.
Once again, it seems like we were saying, they've got that Digicel contract, that miscommunication between both batters. Javed was looking like a run-out candidate for the last 3-4 deliveries, and it's come through, and we've seen yet another run-out here today, possibly the 6th or the 7th, if I'm not mistaken.
But that certainly was not on Molly Richards. I mean,
it was hit straight to the fielder.
So I couldn't understand.
That's pressure. That's pressure.
There was no pressure. She just ran herself out as if she wanted to go into the pavilion.
She's obviously got a pressure in her head. That's what we're talking about. There's a scoreboard pressure that is going on with every dot delivery. And she's looking to get on with it, and it's gotten to her. And as they say, pressure bust pipes.
Who comes out now? The wicketkeeper?
Number 8. It is Fatima Sana.
Sana comes out.
Oh, no, I'm wrong. Nida Daz there. It's not 22, sorry.
Good, so...
Sidra Nawaz.
Sidra Nawaz, that's what I said. I thought I saw that number, but a little bit unsighted right there. Matthews comes in out to bowl to Da is driving down the ground. That's a big effort there by Hayley Matthews to be able to rebound that one off. and somebody's trying to say to someone, listen, just hurl the ball down to the keeper. So right in that over, it would have been a maiden over, Mally Richards.
Well bowled.
They were able to pick easily. No, they got a single off it.
Oh, they got one.
Yes, because Dar did face most of the deliveries there in terms of what's happening. 25 for 3, but in doing that, they got a wicket.
Yeah, and
Vada run out
over.
good.
Yeah, very good over there from Hayley Matthews. She's bowled 3 overs for 10 runs. She's been very economical. Picked up the 1 wicket, and we were saying how effective the spin's actually going to be on this wicket, and she's come out and done a very good job. She's matched Nida Dar thus far in terms of both being off spinners.
Count run rate has come down to 4.17. Matthews from her 3 overs so far, 1 for 10. Shamina Connell will start from the CIU and Herring and Tegan Barbudas now. In now to bowl to Nawaz. Nawaz is back and staying that. And there's going to be more trouble here again. Oh, Knight dropped the ball.
I think Dottin should have taken a shot at the stumps though, Vern.
The arm.
Yeah. Oh, she's struggling with the arm.
Yeah. But I think Knight took her eyes off the ball there. She was certainly gone.
Yeah, it was a bit of a weak throw though from the
No, but she didn't want to throw it too high, and so that's why she just lobbed it.
Yeah, but you can't lob it because the batsman's trying to get back, you know. You got to get the ball in quickly. And she just slightly lobbed the ball in, and Knight grabbed and reached for it.
Took her eyes off it, so both batsmen are not. Connell comes in now to bowl to Nawaz, gets a short delivery and just pulls this one around. Fielder from Fineck comes around. Again, the communication not being right there. That certainly should have been 2 runs, but they hesitated for a while. Nawaz is off the mark, and the eyes on naught.
Yeah, naught of 10. That's pressure there in a T20 game. It's going to be quite interesting to see how she goes about constructing her innings from this point.
She's a class player, and she certainly will be in a very relaxed mode, and she knows the responsibility. A nation is on her shoulder. She's back and cracking that, but can't go past cover. Knight comes around. The Knight wearing number 47, so you know it's almost beautiful when you see the Bravos and now you see the Knights.
Yeah, and both left-handed batters and looking really good, you know. Both put in pretty good performances. Kaisia in particular, with her 30 off 20, going at a strike rate of 150. She's got a role to play in this Windies team.
Connelly now to bowl to
quite a big one.
They're getting a little bit of frustration. Not being able, she's on knot for a long time, as you say in schoolboy cricket, you're on a long knot.
Long knot, and it's not like if she hasn't really been responding to her batting partner at the other end in terms of getting off strike as well. So she really just has to up her output here all around.
She's a big player, waits for Connell, and she's just whipping that beautifully over square leg down to the boundary for 4. How sweetly timed. Woo! That was in the slot.
Brilliant shot.
And she just whipped that beautifully. And only to retrieve a boundary for Pakistan. The score goes up to 30 for 3. Yeah. Both umpires having a conversation.
And considering that being the short side of the ground, the breeze going east to west, helping the ball down there. Windies need to protect that boundary. I think either a third man also could come up into the circle with the pacer, Connell bowling, and you protect that square leg, that deep square leg boundary. And as we speak, it's happening. Who's gone out there?
But they brought up the fine leg. Did they bring the fine leg up?
I'm not sure who they brought up, but there's a deep square leg fielder out there now.
Good analysis, Mally Richards. Connelly now to bowl to Dada is whipping that one away beautifully down to the boundary for 4 more. I think the fielder at fine leg was badly positioned. Yeah. So once she was inside that area there, that was all going to be 4. So Dar has started just like she started at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. 34 for 3. She's raced up quickly to 8. And Connell's 4. She finishes with not for 20. Pakistan need 92 from 78.
2 bad balls there, and she's put them away. She's capitalized, and just like that, her strike rates are climbing. She was on none of 10 deliveries, and she's put 2 bad balls away. She's off 8. She's on 8 off 14. Building, and if one thing's for sure about Nida Dar, she's a fighter, and she's quite positive with everything she does, be it bowling, batting, or fielding, and she's going to give it a good shot here. Windies need to be very wary, considering that you still got Aisha Nazim in the hutch, and she's got 6 hitting ability.
34 for 3, 7 overs been bowled, and Hayley Matthews will continue from the media centre in here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground, the home of West Indies cricket. And Cricket West Indies, as we would call it. Matthews is in now to bowl to Nawaz, the wicketkeeper, and she comes stylishly forward. Maybe it's going to be an introduction to see Anisa Mohammed, maybe into the attack early o'clock, or maybe it could be a Selman. We don't know. We'll find out what's in the thinking cap of Taylor. Matthews goes quite delivery.
Seems like Stefani, I've seen her rolling her arms over. Looks like she's getting warm. So there's quite a few options here for her to choose from, even herself. Quite a lot of experience in Mohammed and herself to bowl. So we can expect them to be on pretty soon. 34
for 3. Matthews is in now to bowl to Nawaz. Nawaz was coming down the track, and when she got there, she sort of looked to close the face. And he really almost was just in the position of producing a catch for someone, but null off, especially to the mid-off fielder. Almost just carried it there into the 25-yard circle. Just for a moment, Hayley Matthews thought that she was in the wicket column again. She's 1 for 10. This is her fourth over. Current run rate 4.53. Matthews comes in now to bowl to Nawaz, and she's just chipping this one into the onside and picking up an easy single. Just got to be careful about that, because that was played a little casual. You want to be able to sense a purpose when you're playing that shot.
Yeah.
Especially with the breeze. Lucky it didn't hang in there long enough.
A bit of an in-between shot there, not really going after it and just checking it, and it just managed to evade Ram Harak there at a wideish mid-wicket.
So she'll want to end with these 2 good deliveries. 1 for 11, Hayley Matthews. As Dar just getting herself organized, just had to tie her bootlaces. Christopher Taylor just put out his left hand. He's dropped that now. Hayley Matthews comes in now to bowl to Dar. Into bowl to Dar. Dar comes quietly forward, elegant enough. Strokes it up to mid-off. And long off, in fact, gets a single.
And that's the stroke you were hoping that you'd see a little more of from a Shadeen Nation in that, the situation she was in. But, yeah, brilliant stroke there from Nida Dar. Good technique. Only 1 run, but keeps the scoreboard ticking over.
Pakistan needs 90 from 73 balls. Matthews is into a final delivery there. Down the onside, she bowls a wide. Don't try anything. Courtney Walsh will be saying to you, just put it between wicket and wicket. You're bowling to Nawaz. Don't try anything. Don't give her anything. You know, it's going to cost the West Indies 1 for 13. She wants to end strong. Pakistan 37 for 3. Matthews comes in now to bowl to Nawaz. That's a little better. So her spell is completed. Matthews, she finishes with 1 for 13 from her 4. Connell is finished with 4-0, 20-0. 8 overs have been bowled. West Indies are 37 for 3 as we speak.
Can't ask for much more than that from Hayley Matthews. 4 overs, 1 wicket, 13 runs. Brilliant economy rate and the bonus of a wicket. You can't ask for much more. She's done her job from her bowling perspective.
Certainly. At the end of my stint here, Jack Matthew will come into the hot seat. Who's coming through now? Let's see in terms of what's going to be happening. We've got a new bowler in
Looks
space.
like Aline.
Yeah, Aline. And she was a handful at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. So that is also going to be important. Got a big jet just touched down there on the VC Bird International Airport. Aline will be coming over the wicket to bowl to that. I want to see what this contest is going to be like. Already the West Indies have got protection on both sides, on the offside and on the leg side. As Mali was indicating, you want to be able to make sure that you cut off the boundaries. You've got to take the boundaries out. So we've got a third man. Do we have a fine leg, Mali? I can't see.
Yeah, up in the circle.
Okay, but it's got a short fine leg.
Yeah.
Okay. Got a deep backward square, a mid-wicket. On the offside, we've got a backward pointer cover mid-off and a long on and a sweep on the offside. Aline bowling a short ball. You can't bowl that, Aline. That is going to be hit away. You can't bowl that line there. If you're going to do that, then it means now that something has to change, Mali. The short fine leg needs to go right back.
Yeah, well, I mean,
badly line delivery.
Yeah, you can't really set a field for bad bowling, but if she should have taken a page out of the previous bowlers that we've seen operate from that end, especially the fast bowlers.
Got a ball between wicket and wicket.
Yeah, wicket and wicket, just looking to bring the ball back into the right-handed batsman, not give them room, just cramp them a little bit and attacking those stumps.
Aline started first up with a badly lined delivery, and Dar just moving along like a train. She's got 3 boundaries already. Could this be her day? Could she take home Pakistan? Could the West Indies stop her? Could Aline also maybe just nick her off? Let's wait and find out what's happening. She's in now to bowl to Dar. Short delivery. She's back and looking to spank that. Taylor comes around nicely.
Oof.
And it's gone past Knight. Just offline there. It's all happening here. This is what happens in a cricket game. Tanti Merle. I don't think we're going to see Tanti Merle yet today. But we never know.
That's the line right there, though.
Certainly, that's the line.
From Aline. It's really hard to pace that offside field. That's the long side of the ground, and with the protection also down on the extra cover boundary. You can't see how Dar can hurt you on that side of the wicket.
And with the breeze blowing strong enough, you've got to hit the deck. That's got to be the consistent thing here. That's what has to happen. They need 85 off 70 balls. And Dar's driving square past Dottin. But the third man, Selman, comes around nicely, and she gets 2 easy runs. So, good throw right there. Dottin sort of guilty, maybe not trying to save that one, but she couldn't stop that. It was just hit to the left of her. And the score sneaks up to 43 for 3. Pakistan needs 83 off 69 balls. Dar is 15, and Nawaz is 2, the wicketkeeper.
Aline under a little pressure here, Vern. They've been quite positive to her.
Very positive. Your first delivery goes for 4. You're really under pressure. Short delivery, and that's going to be considered a wide. She's struggling, in fact, Mali. The breeze coming from east to west. I don't know if she's not been able to get a rhythm there, but she sort of missed her run there, and she still tried to go through. Connell is now coming over to her and saying, come on, take your time. No need to try anything.
And that's what was so impressive from a Fatima Shah. You know, the way Fatima Sana, sorry.
Aline is in now to bowl to Dada, is opening the face of the bat. Staying this down to third man. Selman comes off the boundary. 1 bounce return into Knight. And it now brings Nawaz into strike. In the meantime, the score shots up to 44 for 3. And Dar goes to 16. Pakistan needs 81 runs off 68 balls. These 2 deliveries are going to be very important in Aline's first over. She's gone for 8 already. And the run rate just begins to just climb back up here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground. Nawaz is 2. Short delivery back and cracking that. And beautiful piece of work there from Deandra Dottin to be able to cut that one off.
It went in the air as well. I mean, it probably didn't quite carry to her, but it traveled in the air for quite a distance, Vern.
West Indies clapping away. Nawaz is 2 from 8. They need 81 from 67 Pakistan. Here comes Aline from the CIUN in now to bowl to Nawaz, who's steering this down to Selman. Over completed. 9 overs completed. More comments from you, Mali. 46 for 3. Dar is 16. Nawaz is 3. And then we'll hear the voice of Jack Matthew.
Yeah, I was saying that was what was so impressive about Fatima Sana Khan's spell from that northern end. With the breeze really blowing across her, she still managed to stay strong at the point of delivery and deliver the balls in a consistent area, and she reaped the rewards. Aline on that occasion just a little ragged, just going for the 9 runs. That bad delivery off her first ball, but she pulled it back reasonably enough, but she'll be under pressure going into her second over.
Lots of pressure because to concede 9 in a T20 match in 1 over is certainly not what you would want, especially at the start. So it's 46 for 3. Pakistan needing 80 of 66 deliveries. So we're heading to quite an interesting situation here. Dar has been very, very positive, has been exquisite as well. 16 from 19 with a few boundaries in her knock so far, leg side boundaries.
She's caught up very well.
So we're watching Selman starting from the commentary box and wide down the leg side. The batter just having a flick at that one, Nawaz, but not being able to make contact. The Pakistani score will inch on to 47 for 3 at the start of over number 10. So we're nearing the halfway point. Pakistan showed resilience in the last match. They were tottering at 57 for 6 outside the line of the off stump. And a dab attempted by Nawaz, but went low through to wicketkeeper Kaisi and Knight. So the Pakistanis have the ability to really fight back, and they show that resoluteness in their last game, the first game of the series. Pushed away into the offside, but there is no chance for a run here. Ball going out to the captain in Stefani Taylor at that mid-off position. The score is kept on 47 for 3.
Apart from a few overs, we've mainly seen spin from this end, Jack, and it's interesting to see how Salman goes about bowling her little cutters and pace from this end.
She's in medium pace right arm. This is hit in there, dropped at mid-wicket. The culprit on that occasion, one of the substitutes in...
Ramharak, was it?
Yes.
Karishma.
Yes, it was a ball which was driven to her left. She got both hands to it. Should have really caught that.
I think so too.
And did not hold on. So a chance here for Nawaz on 3.
Good effort, but she should have caught that one, Jack.
Salman, right arm over the wicket, is in. And Nawaz is driving along the ground, fielded by Salman. So really unfortunate there for the bowler. It wasn't hit particularly hard. She came around to her left, got it in both hands and not been able to hold on. Well, she will be hoping that one will come straight at her and she'll be able to make amends in this very over.
For sure.
That's the feeling you get. You know the feeling, Marley. This is driven into the onside. Goes away towards the square leg position. They'll get a couple of runs here. The fielder is in pursuit. And a right-handed return comes on the bounce to wicketkeeper Kaisi and Knight. And the batters are back for the second run. So the 50 looms for Pakistan. They're 49 for 3 in over number 10. 1 ball to come in the 10th.
Yeah, it's important she finishes well here, Jack. She's backed up the Aline over really well. That one going for 9. She's only gone for 3 thus far.
Last ball of over number 10, and it's pushed away into the onside. Goes up to Ramharak at that straightish mid-wicket position. So the overs come to an end. Only 3 from over number 10. Pakistan, they're chasing 126 to level the series in the CG Insurance T20 contest between these two sides. They need 77 from 60 balls.
Good finish there from Salman. Like I was saying, she's backed up that Aline over with only 3. And she's afforded some level of pressure to now be exerted back onto these Pakistani bowlers at the beginning of this over. Aline just has to execute her skills.
And think about the first match when she was very much on target.
And picking up wickets and really putting a good performance with the ball.
So we'll be hoping to make amends in this second over on a sunlit afternoon at the moment, but we had primarily overcast conditions, and so the strong breeze, very much the strong wind, I should say, very much with us. It's more than a breeze, stretching out the branches of the trees around the ground. Here is Aline, right arm over the wicket, driven into the mid-off position. The mid-off is straightish, but the ball is travelling quickly, so they can't sneak a single. Score is kept on 49 for 3 at the start of the 11th.
She's quite athletic, Aline, you know, nice balanced run up, good action, everything happens at the crease, quite explosive. Apparently she's a bit of a two-sport star in Barbados, plays a bit of soccer as well.
She comes in, and it's punched away into the offside, and they'll get a single because Deandra Dottin, who has been so good in the field, allowing that one to slip by, in anxiety to grab the ball and perhaps look at a run-out opportunity. Just took eyes off it at that critical moment. It went beyond her, and the sweeper at cover having to tidy up. Early on, we saw her making an excellent save away to her left at that backward point position. She crouches as she walks in, and this is it massively over the top. 6 runs. Oh, that was beautifully played.
That's the biggest hit we've seen in the
series. Yes, it has cleared the boundary by some distance. It was a cracking stroke from...
by the pool. It went down to the pool at the Athletic Club.
Yes, a massive strike there. And the ball has gone well beyond the boundary at square leg. Beautiful stroke. It was short. It was asking to be dispatched, and she did it in excellent style. A 6 to the Pakistani total as they bring up the 50. The 50 coming up, and the 50 of 66 deliveries, 46 minutes and 6 fours. 6 fours in the Pakistani 50, 66 balls and 46 minutes.
And even with our headphones on here, Jack, the sound of that shot, it made an almighty crack off the bat. And it ended up, I would say, possibly well over 80 meters there down at the Athletic Club.
Certainly a cracking stroke there. She settles over her bat. That's Nawaz. And we'll face the bowling of Aline. So it hasn't been a good bowling stint so far for her. She's short and wide. And
she's quite lucky to get away with
very,
that.
Very fortunate. Very, very fortunate. Umpire Christopher Wright not signaling, but that must have been very, very close to being a wide. She has lost direction. She has lost length. She has really been out of sorts here in this 2-over spell. Well, at least an over on 4 balls. Outside line of the off some. This time, is it wide? No, it's not called wide. I'm wondering if the angle is fooling us, Marley.
Yeah, we're not directly behind, so we're not the best to gauge exactly the direction of these deliveries. But, sorry?
And, yes, we are certainly at an angle here. Here is a ball which is hit in the air, but it falls safely. The sweeper comes off the boundary. Looking there to hit that one, perhaps a little straighter. And he went off the outer part of the bat and went airily beyond the 30-yard circle, and the sweeper having to come in to do the fielding. We have had now some 11 overs completed. Pakistan, they're chasing 126 to win the match in the CG Insurance T20 series against the West Indies women. They need 69 from 54 deliveries, with Daha unbeaten on 17 and Nawaz, who hit that cracking 6 on 12 from 19.
Just looking at Aline there a little closer, you can see that on delivery, at the point of delivery, she just tends to collapse a little bit. And who else better than a Courtney Walsh to be your coach? It's something that she possibly needs to work on in the future.
So Selman continues, and here is Rana, or is it Nawaz? Nawaz giving herself room, just pulling that front leg outside the line and looking to have a go, but not being able to time the ball. Mistimed it, went slowly out to Ramharak, the substitute at that mid-wicket position. Selman continues as he runs away from us, and this is a slow delivery. The batsman waits on it, Nawaz, and just guides it away towards the left of the captain, an extra cover fielder in Stefani Taylor, and they amble a single. 58 for 3. Win over number 12. Target now 68 from 52 deliveries. The former West Indies batsman, Sylvester Joseph, rejoins me.
Good afternoon again, Jack. The game is poised. Similarly to when the West Indies team was batting. You look at the balls to the runs where we are talking about, and you can see the different approach in the experience of the Pakistani players.
Salman has been economical, and this ball is just turned away by Dam into the square leg position, and they go for a quick single. 67 now needed from 51, 59 for 3. Da is on to 18, Nawaz on 13. And so Pakistan will be hoping to preserve their wickets as well. They had quite a tumble, a clatter of wickets in the first T20 at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium, and sinking rapidly to 57 for 6. But they still managed to come within 10 of the West Indies total of 136. This ball is hit in the air, down towards the mid-off position, and it is dropped. And that's one of the substitutes, another substitute in Brittany Cooper, who was the one coming in there, not being able to hold on. It wasn't a particularly easy catch, but she got there, and she had to lounge forward and not being able to hold on. So another chance going a begging.
Yeah, that's a valiant attempt. Where she's coming from, the distance, she does really well to get there, but unfortunately, she didn't hold on.
Selman is in, and here is Dar driving, gets it into the onside. The bowler does very well, goes down quickly away to her right and makes the save. 6 runs off a 1.5 over so far. Selman has been very, very economical. She has been on target. 60 for 3 is the score. Pakistan now needs 66 from 49 deliveries. So it's becoming more and more interesting. Shakira Selman, right arm, medium pace, over the wicket, and Dar is forward and just clips it away towards mid-wicket. Ram Harak, the substitute, is there to do the fielding, and so we've had now some 12 overs completed. Pakistan are 60 for 3, Dar 18, Nawaz is 14. Selman has had 2 overs for 6 runs.
Yeah, I think the key now is that the way she's batting, she's really anchoring the innings. Early on, I saw you have a few opportunities for run, especially getting a run out, and they didn't really took the opportunity. And then now settling, she's 18 from 24 balls, and now as she seems like she's the more aggressor at the moment, but that is stabilizing the innings and making sure that she bats as deep as possible. And this is what is required. I mean, the runs rate is not too bad in terms of getting 60 yard from what 50 yard balls. So the game is still, poised.
Yes, their current run rate is 5. They need now 88.25 to get there. But we know in T20 cricket, once you have the wickets in hand, a target of 8.25 per over certainly would not be particularly demanding. And so I think that the Pakistanis will be hoping to, 1, not allow this rate to climb, and 2, to preserve their wickets. So we have spin in Stefanie Taylor. She's in, and the ball was driven away, tugged away, I should say, down towards the deep mid-wicket area for a single. And Dar goes on to, in fact, Nawaz goes on to 15. Dar comes in to strike. She's on 18 from 24. Nawaz 15 from 23. So Dar faces Stefanie Taylor, the West Indies captain and off-spinner. She's trying to swing this ball away towards the mid-wicket area, not being able to get hold of it. And the ball just dropped at her feet and picked up by the wicketkeeper Kaisia Knight. Stefanie Taylor is in, and this is given some height, some flight, and it's driven on the bounce. Swung away, in fact, down to the mid-wicket area. There's a fielder on the boundary, and it went straight to her, so a single. Stefanie Taylor, 94 wickets in T20 International, so chance here to get closer to that 100 mark. Tall off spinner is in, and this is hit in the air. The fielder comes off the boundary and drops it. So we've had 3 drop catches by the West Indies. They're really falling apart in the field. She got to that one, she judged it well, and it went just about waist height, and it went in and out. And who is that fielder down there?
That's
Aline, really, she's having a wretched afternoon in the field. Really, after 2 overs of inconsistency, now dropping a relative sitter.
That's a sitter.
Yes.
At this level, this is a sitter. She does the hard work in getting there, and then get 2 hands, cushion it, and then spill out.
This ball is driven inadvertently on the offside of the pitch by Dar. She was looking to maybe just undrive, and it went off the outer face of the bat, up towards the left of the bowler. Stefanie Taylor would be very, very disappointed. It was a short ball, yes, but it was hit eerily, and she should have been caught. Here she's sweeping the ball away, down towards the square leg position. Aline having to come around to her right to do the fielding, and only one to Dar. And so she goes on to 19 with that stroke. And the score's pushed on to 64 for 3 after 13 overs. So she has been living a rather fortunate life, Dar. She has had 2 lives. And Nawaz on 16 from 24, Dar 20 from 28. And Pakistan at 64 for 3, they need 62 or 42.
Yeah, well, you can see the intent from the 2 batters, Dar and Nawaz, in terms of the off-spinner bowling from that particular end, where the breeze is going to the western side, and the western side is much smaller, so in Antigua we tend not to bowl the off spinner from that end, so you can understand why these 2 batters are taking that chance. It's a high risk. I think what Stefanie Taylor, she did well in that over, created an opportunity and scored only 4 runs from that over.
Here is Anisa Mohammed, the leg spinner, and her first delivery, off spinner correction, is tugged away down towards the long on position. So Shakira Selman comes off the boundary, and a single. Anisa Mohammed was part of that triumph in 2016 West Indies T20 squad, and she has a hop at the start of a run and then goes in. This is hit aerially down to the fielder at long off, and the ball falls short of her. That's Brittany Cooper. It was one of those tantalizing balls in the air, whether to go or not. She decided not to have a go at it to try and take a catch, and she allowed it to fall. Would have been a very difficult catch had she attempted it. This is beating the substitute Ramharak at that mid-wicket position, and they're coming back for the second chance for a run out, and she's run out. So Nawaz run out, the return coming in there from the long on area and finding her well short of her ground. So Pakistan suffering another run out. In fact, all the three have been run out.
And they missed a few as well, Jack.
Yes, yes. So
that is similar to the A team this morning. West Indies A team got about 4, I don't think it's 4 or 5 run out,
yeah.
So
well, is three have been run out, and one fell by the bowler's route. Yeah. So Pakistan now 67 for 4. 67 for 4. I thought it was poor running though on the part of the Pakistanis a while ago. That should not have been a run out situation. Mix up, and on all occasions there have really been mix up situations between the two batters at the time, and they have suffered as a result of that. 67 for 4, the West Indies on top at the moment.
Well, Jackie's Nawaz, she was the one that initiated the second one, because that was there and watching, and the fielder had the ball in her hand already, but Nawaz, she coming to that end, the danger end, and she called, and she wasn't even in the picture, so it seems like it's similarly to the West Indies batters when Nation also was going. They're not looking at the balls. I think they're looking more at the overs that are going down, and the game is still relatively balanced, so to speak. You have wickets in hand, 39 balls for 50-something runs.
So here is Nazim, the new batter, but they crossed while the ball was in the air, and Dar is the one on strike, comes off the outside edge of the bat. A chance for a run out at the bowler's end. Yeah. Is she run out? I think she is. So Nazim is run out. Chance at the bowler's end, chance at the keeper's end, and she was found short of the ground. We could see it from here that she was short. By the time she got the bat in, the stumps at the keeper's end had already been dislodged and had already been shattered, and so she has been dismissed. A 4th run out in the Pakistan innings. The innings really falling apart at the moment. They're 69 for 5. Pakistan 69 for 5, chasing 126 to win. They now need 57 from 38.
Yeah, there's a bit of panic in the run in between the wicket. Dice has been out there for quite a while, and she has been involved in most of the run-outs, and she could have seen that the fielder had the ball in hand, so she was the experienced player, the one that was in, and she could have let Nazim know that no, stay, but she tried to take on the West Indian fielder, and unfortunately she wasn't even in the picture as well, Jack. So those runs were not necessary. As I said, they are not. To me, it's a sign of panic when the game was evenly poised. I mean, you have a set batter, you have someone as experienced as that, and it's the ones is gettable.
Yes, what she needs is support in terms of batters staying with her, because she has the ability to hit the ball over the top and get boundaries. So Anisa Mohammed, the off-spinner, continues, and the new batter is Riaz. She comes forward and plays rather purposefully into the offside. The ball leaving the bat sweetly and going out towards the extra cover position. Anisa Mohammed with his familiar hop at the start of her run. She gets a ball well up to Riaz, and Riaz is forward, very, very cautious in her forward defensive prod, looking there just to survive on that occasion. And the over has come to an end. We've had 14 overs completed, and Pakistan, they need 57 now from 36. Mohammed have had 5 runs conceded in her opening over.
Yeah, I mean, Mohammed has been one of our better bowlers over the years. To see that they still have quality of Mohammed stature in a repertoire. I mean, the advantage must be with the West Indies team. But having said that, judging from the last game as well, Pakistan should have learned from the experience in terms of they had a very good partnership when we thought that the game was done and dusted, and they had held on to and got 10 runs they lost by 10 in the end.
Yes, Stefani Taylor outside the line of the off stump, not played at by Dar and taken by the wicketkeeper Kaisia Knight. And I think Nazim, who was just run out, was very much part and parcel of that resuscitation.
Yeah.
But she is gone. Here is Stefani Taylor outside the line of the off stump, cracked away by Dar, down to the sweeper at cover. And they just canter the run. One more to the Pakistani cause. They are now 69 for 5. 69 for 5. And Dar goes on to 24. Here is one outside the off stump, and the ball is cracked away towards the cover position. We have a drizzle with us, but it doesn't seem as if it's going to be interrupting play because it's swiftly going by. Just a drizzle, sweeping across the ground outside the off stump, and she's chasing this one, called wide by umpire Christopher Wright. That ball was outside the line of the off stump, well wide by Stefani Taylor. And there was Dar having a go at it, missing it, taken by Kaisia Knight, standing up outside the line of the off stump. She crouches now, hit off the back foot and beats the fielder at that extra cover position, down towards the wide long on position. And the Pakistani running on that occasion certainly was not good. It should have been 2 runs there. I thought the ball was played wide enough of that field and long off for them to come back.
You can refer that to the running throughout the innings. For Pakistan.
Yes, it has not been good. Stefani Taylor is in, the off spinner, outside the line of the off stump, almost off the pitch. It was so wide, extremely wide. And no difficulty whatsoever for umpire Christopher Wright to call that. So 72 for 5 now. Dar on 25. Riaz on strike, yet to score. She's steering this one down to Deandra Dottin at that point position. The ball traveling quickly straight to the fielder. So the West Indies looking to tighten the screws here as the asking rate climbs at 54 needed from 32. Here is Stefani Taylor, just a few paces, comes in tall right arm off spinner, and the ball is clipped away down to the boundary at mid-wicket, and that's 4 runs. Beautifully timed by Dar. She has a wonderful sense of timing. We have seen the execution so far in this match, and that was very well timed. She was hitting with the spin as well, and the ball flashed away down towards the deep mid-wicket position for 4 runs. The score 76 for 5. Pakistan now need 50 from 31. Dar 25, Riaz on 4, and we will have more comments from, well, I'll do one more over before Vernon Springer comes in to carry it home. 76 for 5.
Yeah, I think the game actually is really poised, but Pakistan, I think they have the panicking mode.
And Lisa Mohammed is in, and it's driven into the offside by Riaz, but goes straight to the fielder. That's Stefani Taylor at extra cover, a dot ball. Pakistan will be hoping to get as many as possible. They don't want to have dot balls at this particular stage. They need 50 from 30. This is undriven. Doesn't quite get the timing into the stroke. And Ramha Rak throws from almost a falling position. She's suggesting there that she injured her lower back. She's one of the substitutes. She's on because we had a tragic situation early on. In fact, 2 tragic situations where first Chanel Henry collapsed on the field, looked to have been a seizure. And then Shadeen Nation, once they were off the field, she also collapsed. Both have gone off to hospital. So we have 2 substitutes on the field in Brittany Cooper and Ram Harak. Ram Harak doing the fielding there at that mid-wicket position. She has a chance to take a catch, and I think it's been dropped. A chance for a run out, and she will be run out. So Dar will be run out, a missed chance, and yet another run out. So the Pakistanis really, they need a whole session of running between the wickets before they play the next one, the next T20 match and the one-day series, because it has been atrocious running between the wickets by the Pakistanis. 5 have been run out in the course of this inning so far, and really it has been poor work in terms of their running. They're sliding towards defeat here. They're 77 for 5. They need 49 from 29.
Yeah, you can see the panic through the Pakistani innings, because not only that they run out Jack Musa, I think maybe 2 or 3 of them were from jab catches, so you were supposed to get caught and then you eventually ran yourself out. So that is not really showing any good sign for Pakistani. And as I said, is there any cause, I think, for such big panic that we are seeing here? Because 2020 these days, man, 29 runs, 29 balls, 49 ones for with 5 or 6 wickets in tack, you give the benefit of the doubt to the batting team. But what you see from the female game is that this kind of situation or scenario, the panic button, they press the panic button.
And it's rather surprising, given what happened in that first T20 at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium, when there was a recovery and they came within 10 runs of getting to that West Indies score of 136. So that should have given them a certain degree of confidence coming into this one, and with the feeling that they don't need to panic, that once they have wickets in hand, they can accelerate towards the end. But certainly this has been a panic situation by the Pakistanis, and they're floundering at the moment. They're 77 for 6. They need to go at a rate of 10.5 knot. Their current rate is a rather dismal, comparatively, 5.02. So they have extremely hard work to do at this particular point in time. So 49 needed from 28. Anisa Mohammed will continue from the commentary box end, 77 for 6. She'll bowl to Sana. And here is Mohammed, and this ball is up and taking the inner portion of the bat. The off a break coming into the right-hander, taking the interface of the bat and going out towards the mid-wicket area. Ball picked up there by the big fast bowler. And the ball is now driven, another delivery driven into the offside. They get a single. Ball hit down towards the wide long off position for Brittany Cooper to come in and do the work. And the score is pushed on to 78 for 6. 78 for 6. Riaz on strike. Anisa Mohammed is into bowl to her, and she's stepping out and driving nicely. It goes down towards the mid-off position, and they'll get a run for it. But they need more than singles at the moment. We have had some 16 overs completed. 16 overs completed, and the score is 79 for 6. 79 for 6. Riaz has 2, and Sana is on 2 as well. 46 now required from some 24 deliveries.
And I mean, from the 24 deliveries, you have one of the best bowlers in the world in Lisa Mohammed, and she has 12 deliveries. So I would tip my hat on to the West Indies team to be in the driver's seat at the moment.
Well, most people would, I think. Most people would. But this is a funny old game, cricket, the game of glorious uncertainties. You never know. Outside the line of the off, some cutaway down towards the third man position. Deandra Dottin is giving chase. She pulls it back well inside the boundary at third man, and they scamper back for the second run. Score on to 82 now for 6. Over number 17 in progress. 44 required from 23. Taylor in the third over has been economical. None for 13, 2.1. She holds the ball now and then delivers, given some flight and driven up towards the long off position, beating the diving extra cover fielder. Long off runs around to her left and negates the second run because of a speedy work there. Moving around there. That looks to be Shakira Selman out there at long off doing the fielding. And the Pakistanis adding 1 to their score. They're 83 for 6 now. They need 43 from 22. Taylor in her third over. Comes in off a few paces. Off spinner outside the line of the off. Some called wide. Called wide by umpire Christopher Wright. So Pakistan move on with that extra onto 84. 84 for 6 is the Pakistani score. They're chasing 126 to level the series. This is a full toss. Hit in the air, down towards the long on position, and it goes under bounce to the fielder. Just dropping the ball initially, but recovering well. No chance for the second run to be attempted. And so only 1 to the Pakistani cause. And so the score has pushed on to 85. 85 for 6. Over number 17 in progress. The West Indies looking to win the series. A victory here this afternoon would guarantee them victory in the 3-match T20 series sponsored by CG Insurance. This is cut away down to the third man. The backward point in Deandra Dottin giving spirited chase. They'll come back for the second. Similar situation had occurred earlier in the over. And once again, Deandra Dottin giving 100% in pursuit of that ball down towards the backward point third man area. 87 for 6 now is the Pakistani score. 39 needed from 20. Will they be able to make a match of it? Will they make it very, very close in the end? She's back and cutting at this ball. Must have been very, very close to that off stump. The off spinner getting the ball to spin into the right hander. She was back. It wasn't all that short. Giving herself room, trying to execute, not being able to make contact, taken by Kaisia Knight. She steps out now and drives down towards the sweeper at cover. And Ram Harak comes off the boundary and fires the return into the bowler's end. And the over has come to an end. 88 now for 6 from 17. So 3 overs left, 38 runs required from 18 deliveries.
Yeah, I think the game is still in the balance. If a few boundaries now, 2 or 3 boundaries will be struck now with a different, you see a different light. But with the quality, I said with Mohammed and Taylor, Taylor as well bowling from that end. I think she's doing a fantastic job, keeping it outside of the off stump. So let me watch and see what's happening now.
Yeah, none for 19 from 3. Taylor, Anisa Mohammed, another experienced off spinner. Continuing from this, the commentary box end, just concedes a single. There was an attempt by Riaz to, I think, clear the boundary. She went for an elaborate drive, not being able to get hold of it. And they went off the interface of the bat down towards square leg for a single. 89 for 6. Riaz on 3. This ball is hit in the air. The fielder comes in and makes a mess of it, and it has gone away for 4. And that fielder looks to be Brittany Cooper. The culprit on that occasion. No.
That's Knight.
Yes, that's Knight. That's Kishona Knight with 47 on the back. Yes, Kishona Knight. She really should have done a lot better. She hesitated.
Yeah, and she went for the catch. But you have to understand, if you can't go for the catch, you have to prevent the boundaries. Because boundaries are the ones gonna be dangerous at this time.
Here is a ball which is full outside the line of the off stump. The batter giving herself room, trying to get that one perhaps square, and it beat the wicket keeper. And there must have been a little bit of bat onto it because there was no signal from the umpire.
Yeah, that was an inside edge.
Christopher Taylor. So a run to the, we have the drizzle with us. It has intensified a bit. The ground staff at the ready, looking to pull the covers on should the umpire's call. This ball is driven down towards long off, and a single for the batsman as the rain intensified. Just getting a little bit harder, but as I speak now, it's just abating a bit. And so the umpires realizing that we have had these showers before, and just waiting a bit outside the line of the leg stump, called by the umpire, called wide. And once it's outside the line of the leg stump, it will be called. And so Anisa Mohammed just losing her line on that occasion. Score goes on to 96. This ball is driven into the onside, down to Selman at long on, and they got a single for it.
Yeah, the Pakistanis are trying desperately to get a few boundaries, and Mohammed is doing what she does best. And this one is...
Oh, this is hit high over the top. It's gone for 6. Beautifully driven. Wonderful stroke there. And it was Sana who got hold of that one. And we'll have another interruption in this game because the rain has intensified. And so the umpires have called the covers on, and members of the ground staff are busily running onto the field, making sure that they get the covers on with some degree of difficulty because we have had rather a strong wind during the course of the day, and that is very much with us still. And so the ground staff, they got the initial cover on to the pitch, and the massive tarpaulin is now being pulled onto the whole square to try and preserve that. Perhaps you could hear the rain beating down on the roof through the microphone. Really a big shower at the moment, but we've had it before, and the forecast, as we've been saying, is for this sort of weather during the course of this day, because of the Hurricane Elsa in the general vicinity of the Eastern Caribbean. And so we have had this downpour early on, and then the sun came out, and we were able to get a resumption. But now it is really pouring, and maybe it's going to be quite a longer delay, Sylvester, than the one we had before.
Yeah, Stanford, this is a big one. This is the big one. This is the biggest one for the day, Jack.
And looking at the eastern section of the island, it is rather grey as well. And even looking in the east southeast section, just away to our right here, it's looking grey as well. So
yeah,
it could have a long delay.
Yeah, was the you have we supposed to have the Duckworth Lewis paper. I think that the West Indies team should be in
the Duckworth Lewis will have to come into play perhaps if we don't have a resumption, because it has become darker. It has become darker since the rain started. I don't think it has been this dark for the day. Yeah. So it's not looking good, and the ground staff realizing that this as well, they've gone for extra tarpaulin, extra bit of cover for the playing area. So looking at the Duckworth Lewis situation, we are now in what? How many overs have been bowled?
18.
18 overs have been bowled, and the Pakistani score is what, 103. After 18 overs, they should have been at 109.
103 for 6.
For 6, okay, they should have been at 110. They should have been at 110. 18 overs gone, 6 wickets down. Yes, they should have been at 110. They're in fact 103, so the West Indies are ahead as far as Duckworth Lewis is concerned.
Yeah, so as far as the West Indies are concerned, unofficially, yeah, the West Indies team are in front by 7 runs.
Yes.
So that goes to show you, Jack, the thought process in terms of the Pakistani batters, how they ran themselves out when they were in control. They were close to the target. There was no reason or no need to panic, and they just fell away in the middle because the thought process of assessing the situation of the game, I think, got a hold of them.
Is it a thunderstorm I'm hearing? Or is it just the rain and the wind?
With the wind.
Okay. Because
it's echoing, like there's a mic somewhere in the open that picks up the energy from the players. I was thinking about the same thing this morning when I told you to turn the mic around, and then Vernon told me that
right, it was actually coming from the outside microphone.
Yeah,
yes,
you know this technology. You want the fans, the watchers, the viewers to hear, be as close as possible, to hear, especially in a COVID situation where only vaccinated people can be at the ground. You know what I mean? So we're trying to make it as realistic as possible.
Yeah. So the situation is that we have a break in play because we've had a downpour. It's rather grey at the moment. Duckworth Lewis suggesting and indicating that the West Indies, if there would be no play after this break, the West Indies would be winners because they are at the moment 7 runs ahead. Pakistan at this stage, with 18 overs gone and 6 wickets down, should have been at 110. They're in fact at 103. They're 103 for 6 after 18 overs, and they should have been 110. There is no indication that the ground staff would be removing the covers because although it's just a drizzle at the moment, it has become very, very dark. And as I look away at the skies in the east, they're rather dark. The clouds there are dark, and I can't remember at any stage during the day we have seen the clouds that dark.
Yeah, and
And
we
so-
have to take into consideration also that that beginning of this innings we have lost like I think 40 minutes. I heard from the match referee, my good friend Ryan King, you know that we lost 40 minutes already, and the allotted time that is required for the stoppage or loss of time is 45 minutes. You know, so um, after I think 45 minutes might already pass. So it depends if, and it's getting a bit darker. It's minutes to 6, so we have to wait and see if they have time to continue or we have already passed that allotted
time.
time.
Because another consideration, I don't think, based on the time allocation, that they would be able to go
beyond
a certain time where they would need now lights, artificial lights.
Yeah.
Go beyond the natural light, in meaning that they will have to go beyond the sunset to complete the match. So I don't think that will be allowed based on the rules and regulations for the series. So the rain has continued. In fact, it's more than a drizzle now. We have a shower with us, and the skies have darkened, and so this could well be it as far as this match is concerned.
Well, yes, I think the Pakistani players would really like the opportunity to go back out there. Even though that, I mean, without all the rain and so forth, I think that the West Indies team, I think the West Indies is in control, the favourites now, and everything is showing that they're in control, and deservedly winners.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what we were saying when West Indies were batting. You know, Jack, you cannot just give away. Yeah, it's a 2020 game, or even it's a one-day international, whatever. You know, runs are very important. So whatever runs, especially when you're batting first, whatever runs that you can accumulate, you try your very best, to do that instead of doing not analyzing the situation and wasting deliveries, because everyone that you put on the board, the opposition have to go and make those runs.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is a matter of analyzing the game, as you said, and being tactical, in your approach to batting, bowling, fielding, whatever attributes that are required in executing. You have to adhere to those particular attributes, and in certain cases, the two teams have been found wanting, and I suppose that they would be able to learn from it. Pakistanis, I think they will learn from the poor running between the wickets that they demonstrated here today, and the next time they come out, they should be doing a lot better. Well, the rain is pouring down. We'll take a break from our commentary position, and once we establish what's the situation regarding this match, we will let you know. So we'll take a break now from our commentary position with the rain pouring down here at the Coolidge Cricket Grounds, with Pakistan 103 for 6. According to Duckworth Lewis, they needed to be at 110 for 6 to be in the winning position. So the West Indies ahead at the moment.
Well, from the reports that I just received from Vernon Springer, they have passed the cut-off time, and as we were saying earlier, the allotted time for any interruption, they have already passed that. So now it's a case where West Indies won the game by the Duckworth Lewis, I think, by 7 runs.
So the West Indies have. So the West Indies have won the series. They've taken a winning 2-0 lead in the contest by winning this match. It is pouring down. The decision is that there will be no resumption in this particular game. Pakistan 103 for 6 after 18 overs, and the West Indies winning by 7 runs under the Duckworth Lewis system. We were back with coverage of this series on Sunday with the third game of the CG Insurance T20 series between the West Indies and Pakistan. Till then, we say goodbye from the Coolidge Cricket Grounds.